you're one of them. You've had leveling experiences in your life that make you one of the very people you want to represent. I think that's especially acute today. And what our poll is showing is that Democrats are doing better on understanding the needs of the middle class than the Republicans are. And that's very important because over the last 10 years, Democrats had lost that edge. Many of us grew up with the cliche, Democrats are for the people, Republicans are for big business. Over the last 10 years or so, that's been flipped. Democrats are seen as an elitist force. Republicans are for the people. That's what conservative populism, in fact, is all about.
And then lastly, I want your take on 22nd, 23rd congressional districts. We're going to be dealing with a lot of commercials real soon. And a very interesting race in the Lee Stefanik district. And then it seems like the 22nd isn't going to be overly contested with John Mannion. Your thoughts on both of them?
Yeah, first of all, in 22nd, even though it's just a re-election, if you're going to defeat an incumbent, do it early on before they get known and their constituent services are, spin like a top. In Mannion's case, I don't think he's made any mistakes, and it also looks as if he's covering his ground. You have a very unique situation for us. You have Onondaga County and Oneida County, and Oneida County sensing that it's the orphan. I think that Mannion appears to be doing a nice job of coming over here.
And then quickly in the 23rd, it does look like this. I think is an open race here. This could be very, very interesting. And I hate to do this to you, John, but I just look and I'm out of time. I appreciate it. We'll do it again soon. Thank you so much.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, winter is here to stay. Here in Central New York, we just never know what to expect. Bobcat equipment can keep you working through whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow or mud. In all kinds of weather, Bobcat machines deliver low ground disturbance, excellent traction, impressive pushing power, and a smooth ride for all-day working comfort. So whether it's snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service. If you haven't been to see them, take a ride today. They're easy to find and anxious to meet you just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona on the Greenway New London Road.
Warner's, where quality still counts at Warner's.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Possibility starts with the right financial solutions. From Amerique Credit Union. Get started today at amerique.org/possibility.
There's yet another new research study throwing significant shade on the belief that driving EVs have any positive impact on our environment. I'm Kim Commando for NetSuite. AI is everywhere, and companies using it have the advantage. If your revenue exceeds 7 figures, get their free guide, Demystifying AI, at netsuite.com/Kim. There are good reasons to drive an EV, but if you're doing it to save the planet, new research from the respected Queen Mary University in London finds EVs deliver no proven carbon savings at all. The university calls the study a sanity check, as Britain races net zero emissions by 2035, meaning an all-electric vehicle nation. The study points out fossil fuels still power many electric generating stations. As more EVs are added to the roads, power station loads increase, as does its carbon output. So we're really only rearranging where the same amount of pollution comes from. If you want an EV, buy one, but you are not saving the environment. Get my newsletter at getkim.com. Every business is asking the same question. How do we make AI work for us? The possibilities are endless, and guessing is way too risky. Sitting on the sidelines is not an option. Your competitors are already making their move. This is exactly the solution I turn to. With NetSuite by Oracle, you can put AI to work today. As the #1 AI cloud ERP, trusted by over 43,000 businesses, it brings your financials, inventory, commerce, HR, and CRM together into one single source of truth, making your AI smarter. It doesn't guess, it knows. It automates routine tasks, delivers insights, cuts costs, and powers fast AI decisions. Now with NetSuite's AI connector, you can take the AI you already trust and connect it straight to your business. This is not another add-on tool. It's built into the system that runs your business. NetSuite helps you stay ahead. If your revenues are at least 7 figures, get their free business guide, Demystifying AI, at netsuite.com/Kim. The guide is free to you at netsuite.com/.
I'm Bill Hemmer, and these are the most impactful moments in American history. In 1887, 20-year-old Anne Sullivan arrived in Tuscumbia, Alabama, with a daunting task ahead of her. It was at the Ivy Green estate that she was to teach a girl whom others could not reach. Her name, Helen Keller. As an infant, a severe infection robbed Helen of her sight and hearing, leaving her alone in a dark and silent world. For weeks, Anne tried to introduce language to Helen by tracing words: milk, drink, mug, onto Helen's hand. But finally, one word clicked. Anne wrote water on Helen's palm and poured cool water over Helen's hands. In that moment, Helen had the keys to unlock the barrier of language before her and change the way the world approached disabilities in education. For more, go to foxnewspodcast.com. I'm Bill Hemmer, Fox News.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Smitty, are you enjoying your President's Day holiday?
If you call it that, we had to work. Everybody else has off. The schools are off this week. Government offices and federal offices are closed. Why couldn't we be closed?
Well, that's why I'm teasing you, because it's not a holiday for you or I. It is First News Keeler in the morning.
You could call in sick and make it a holiday for us.
You're not taking a shot at Bill, are you?
No.
Yeah, Bill is under the weather. He'll be back with us hopefully tomorrow. If not, it'll be Smitty and I. How was your Valentine's weekend?
Didn't do anything exciting.
No dates?
No dates. I'm spreading a little distance away from her for the time being because she's dealing with some personal issues.
You mentioned last week, and I don't mean to dig into that. I didn't know if you had a date this weekend.
But I did see her for a couple. I did see her for a couple hours on Saturday. We did spend some time together, but we didn't do anything. Go out to dinner or anything. We're going to go out to dinner this week. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a bad idea. You know, oftentimes, especially when
But she kind of got mad at me.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't going to open this
because
can, but
here's what happened.
You seem to want to keep going.
No. Here's what happened. I'll make it a real quick story. So she called me about 10:30. I slept in, said, "Can you do me a favor? Can you come and pick me up, come and get her car?" So I went and picked her up. Yeah. I said, "Come on, we got to make this quick." And she said, "Why?" Because I said, "I want to get home and watch basketball." And she says to me, "You think I'm not important? I'm not important. Basketball's more important than helping me?" I said, "Well, no, you are important, but I want to get home so I can watch the basketball game."
Oh,
so I ended up
boy.
missing the beginning of the Colgate game, but I got home just in time to watch the tip of the Syracuse game. So that's the little short story in a nutshell.
Well, and as it turned out, Colgate lost, and it wasn't really close for a while.
Well, they
anyway.
were down 18. They were down 18. They made it into double overtime. They ended up losing by 4. And then Syracuse beat a good SMU team on a last-second shot, 79-78. And Anthony's kid had a great game, and the dad and Lala weren't even at the Dome, so maybe he could have the parents not show up, and he performs a lot better. Big game tonight. Tough game for Syracuse against Duke.
Yes, Duke, and then what? North Carolina Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe she did you a favor there. You skipped out on the Colgate misery, and you got to watch Syracuse get a good, nice win.
But I did watch the beginning of Colgate. I got home just in time to watch the end of Colgate. So.
Okay, so over the weekend, this is the way this is being framed, and I don't know why we're at this point anyway. A bunch of ChatGPT power users are, quote, grieving after they essentially got dumped by AI right before Valentine's Day. OpenAI removed an old legacy version of ChatGPT on Friday, version 4.0. It debuted in 2024. The current 5.2 version is better in most ways, but a lot of people thought the old version was warmer and more natural, like talking to an actual human. And they made deep emotional connections with it. Do you see yourself making deep emotional connections with a robot or with a program?
No, thank you.
OpenAI announced the change last month, so fans had a couple of weeks to prepare for it. A lot of them migrated their bots' memory over to the other chat bots, but the general feeling is it's just not the same. They say it's like your best friend or soulmate suddenly changing overnight, and it's not the same person anymore. OpenAI said they ditched the legacy version because only 0.1% of customers were using it. But they've also been getting sued because it didn't have the same guardrails and safety features as 5.2. They claim it didn't take the decision lightly and knew it would feel frustrating for some users. A lot of users say it's more than just frustrating. It's like they think yanking it before Valentine's Day just seems mean. So they're saying they feel like they got dumped by OpenAI. There's actual programs out there that you can date. You can have a partner. Smitty, I hope don't get into that.
No, I will never get into that, Jeff. I know that.
It's, I don't know. I guess we got a problem with loneliness in this country if that's where we are dipping to. Which, by the way, Smitty, we have to get on Kristen Carney. Speaking of dating, now that Valentine's Day is over, whether you had someone or not, what are your next steps from here? She's, of course, the comedian who opened for Jimmy Fallon. So you ought to book her this week to come on and talk about what she does. She does like a dating service. We'll go to the phone lines now. This is Eben. This is Eben Brown from Fox News Radio. Unfortunately, over the weekend, I was hoping by this point, certainly everybody was, that Nancy Guthrie would be found. That's not the case. Although I think the latest is there's DNA that's turned up on those gloves that were found about a mile away from the Nancy Guthrie home. Joining us now from Fox News Radio is Eben Brown. Good morning, Eben. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning.
Still no word on where Nancy Guthrie is. Where are we on the investigation?
Well, not much further than where we were this weekend, before the weekend. Yes, that glove or those gloves that were found about a mile or so away from Nancy Guthrie's home apparently have some kind of DNA on them, and that's being further tested through databases to see if there's a match to someone who may already be, let's say, a registered sex offender or something like that. And if those databases, the most famous one called CODIS, do not provide a match, they can do what's known as a familial match, where they can see if there's another DNA profile somewhere that is similar that would indicate a relative, and they can do that. Sometimes they have access to DNA submitted to places like Ancestry or 23andMe or one of those types of services.
Yeah, it's something like that. 23.
Yeah, so it's now that's in a whole other separate conversation. There may be some kind of privacy rights discussion there, but regardless, they'll do something like that to see if they can narrow down who might have been wearing those gloves and if that person is the person they're looking for. Savannah Guthrie has posted a new video making another appeal for her mother to be returned, saying that she still believes her mother is alive and that the people who have done this have the chance to do the right thing, and that is to let their mother come home. And Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old and medically needy. She has a pacemaker. She's not had her medication these past 2 weeks. We know she was bleeding at this point when she was taken from the home. This is not a good situation in any which way you look at it, and so she does need to come home and need to get medical attention. That's kind of as far as things have progressed. This is going to now be the third week she's missing.
Eben, there's been no proof of life since she was taken. Is that correct?
None that we know of.
Yeah.
The Pima County, Arizona sheriff has played things pretty close to the vest. They've not shared everything, and that's a decision that they're making. Remember, they will divulge things to the public when it suits them, when they think it's beneficial to the investigation. If they think it's more beneficial to withhold it, they will. And that's the way they should be proceeding.
And then the second thing was, I'm glad you mentioned that they can use, I understand this does become a privacy issue, but it's interesting to see if they do use a DNA profile. Let's say somebody's in I'm just obviously completely making this up, but if somebody's, let's say, in jail for a bank robbery or something, and you can go to that person and say, hey, listen, we've got this info. There's a partial match. This might be a relative of yours. I wonder if they're legally allowed to say, we'll lighten your sentence if you can kind of point us in the right direction. Is there anything that you can share? Do you have a cousin, an uncle, a brother?
Yeah, I mean, there's mechanisms for doing that. Again, they have to operate within the law of Arizona and whatnot. But there's mechanisms for, let's say, sweetening the deal for the person, this hypothetical person already incarcerated. Anything from a sentence reduction to just more privileges while being in the system. All of that stuff would be, something that they could consider doing. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So unfortunately, no news. Eben Brown from Fox News, thank you so much for joining us.
You bet.
All right, that is Eben Brown from Fox News Radio. Horrible story, and I obviously the longer this goes, it becomes less likely that it has a happy ending. And I think some people now believe that because it's been 16 days, that they're not going to find her. That's a terrible, terrible situation. To be in that situation, to have that level of fame, to be on, to Today's show and, to have it publicly out there that you make $8 million a year, I guess that makes you obviously a target on some level, but I just can't imagine what she's going through. It's just not only Savannah Guthrie, but the whole Guthrie family. She's got a brother, I think, and a sister and a brother. It's obviously a horrible situation.
It'd be interesting when they do find Savannah's mom, and it brings closure to this and to her and her family. If she will return to the Today Show,
right?
You never know how she will be after she takes about her mom.
Yeah. Here locally, we had a tragedy unfold in the city of Rome on Friday. There was a fire called in at a 3-story building on East Dominic Street in Rome. Was that an apartment building, or is there a business down below?
It's a business down below, and then apartments. You know how close the buildings are on Dominic Street in Rome. It was a business and then apartments.
So a person, go ahead.
Go ahead.
A person tragically ended up losing their life after they entered the building while it was on fire to try and locate a dog or to save a dog, and that person never made it back out. Smitty, I know you're a Roman. Part-time Roman, I guess, anyway. What do we know here?
Well, I drove by the the fire scene on Saturday morning. They yanked all the power outage was out of the. They was all roped around with yellow tape, and there was those residents outside there trying to go back and trying to see if there was any stuff they could get. A couple people. Feel sorry for whoever it was.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation. Anytime you have a fire that's devastating like that and you've lost really all your possessions, but then obviously it becomes so much worse when you have a fatality. Again, somebody going back in to try to locate a dog. It's just an unfortunate situation. All right, Smitty, we're going to do a quick news update. We'll take a break, then we'll do a news update and come back with more. It is a holiday officially, President's Day. But coming up later this morning, we'll talk with Chuck Lester, who I believe is going to be running for office again. Is that right? Do we know? It says he's going to make an announcement. Do we know what the announcement is?
Well, Brian Lamica is running for mayor again.
Governor. Well, that's an announcement.
Against the current mayor, John Stevens. So there's a Republican primary.
Okay. And then we've got a Republican candidate for John Mannion's seat. That's Dave Hollenbeck. We'll talk to him later this morning as well. And then Tucker Rosemeyer, who we were supposed to talk to last Monday. We had a bit of a mix-up. He was in the building. He was here, but we didn't realize he was here.
Until the mayor went out in the hallway, and here comes Tucker.
Yeah, Mayor Galimi was leaving. We held him a little longer because we thought Tucker wasn't in because it was like, 16 below or something crazy. So we thought he wasn't able to make it in. Sure enough, he was sitting in the green room. So Tucker's going to come on and join us today and talk about Beef and Bird, his latest restaurant. We got some good reviews on that, so we'll talk to Tucker Rosemeyer coming up later this morning as well. It's a Monday morning, and it's not insanely cold, although we're going to be hovering around 40 this week. Several days. We've got some rain coming. The extended forecast, unfortunately, though, at least for next week, says some overnight lows will be in the single digits again. I'm hoping that's very temporary. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, we'll talk more about it. It's coming up. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, winter is here to stay. Here in Central New York, we just never know what to expect. Bobcat equipment can keep you working through whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow or mud. In all kinds of weather, Bobcat machines deliver low ground disturbance, excellent traction, impressive pushing power, and a smooth ride for all-day working comfort. So whether it's snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service. If you haven't been to see them, take a ride today. They're easy to find and anxious to meet you just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona on the Greenway New London Road.
Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
We have cloudy skies and 29 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:42. An Iranian diplomat says Tehran is working towards securing a nuclear agreement with the United States. Iran and the U.S. are scheduled to hold nuclear talks in Geneva tomorrow Meanwhile, the Pentagon has deployed a second aircraft carrier to the region as the White House weighs military options if those talks are unsuccessful. Savannah Guthrie is making another appeal as the search for her mother, Nancy, enters its third week. Guthrie shared a new video on Instagram Sunday pleading for the person who took her mother to come forward. She addressed whoever has her mother or knows where she is, saying that it is never too late and that the family still believes that in the essential goodness of every human being. It comes as the search for the mother of the Today co-anchor continues in southern Arizona. A new report says Americans bore the brunt of the cost of tariffs. Data from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York shows American consumers and companies paid almost 90% of the cost of President Trump's tariffs through late 2025. A report from the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation shows the tariffs amounted to a tax increase of $1,000 per household in 2025. California preparing for a wet week. From Redding to Los Angeles, the West Coast will see rain and snow, creating dangerous travel conditions and a high possibility of flooding. The Sierra is expected to get several feet of snow through Thursday, while multiple inches of rain will fall in Southern California. 3 different storm cells are expected to roll through that state. Warner Brothers Discovery is reportedly considering an amended sales offer sent last week by Paramount Skydance. According to Bloomberg, Warner Brothers is currently a partner with Netflix, and it could initiate another bidding war. Contract terms seem favorable, and it offers to cover $2.8 billion in penalties for breaking that Netflix contract, will guarantee financial backing if the deal doesn't close by the end of the year, and there are other incentives reported as well. And a Pokemon card has set the world record for the most expensive trading card ever sold at auction, going under the hammer at $16.5 million. The Pikachu Illustrator card was one of around 40 made back in 1998. Influencer and professional wrestler Logan Paul bought it 5 years ago for $5.2 million. So he's tripled his money on this. Are you a Pokemon guy? No. $16.5 million. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 6:45. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
There will be some patchy fog starting off this Monday, otherwise cloudy through the afternoon with a high today near 38. Then some light rain or light snow may develop overnight with areas of fog as the low hovers around 32. Some clouds into the afternoon tomorrow with a high near 40. The rain will develop Wednesday and possibly mix with snow at times with a high of 37. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies and 29 degrees. All right, I've got an update on this. In addition to the card, this auction included a diamond-encrusted necklace that he wore at a wrestling event. Where is this? It's believed the WWE star earned more than $8 million in profit after auction fees, a sale he called absolutely insane. Where is it? Guinness World Record. Okay, this time around the card was sold inside of a custom necklace worn by Paul at WrestleMania 38 with his promise to hand deliver it to the winning bidder. Pokemon is the world's highest grossing media franchise, surpassing even Disney and Star Wars. Wow. Cards have rocketed in value, outpacing sports cards and beating the S&P stock market by 3,000% in the past 20 years. Founder and CEO Kevin Golden told CNN in December after Logan confirmed he would be auctioning off the card. That's insane. $16.5 million for a trading card. Boy, I wish I had it, though. My son's into this a little bit, but he doesn't have any $16 million cards. That's for sure. All right, it is 6:46. A quick break, and we're back. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the brand new Keeler Kill Switch. When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
On Monday morning, President's Day, First News Keeler in the morning. Manaski and Smitty in here with you this morning. So today is President's Day. That's why it's a holiday for many. I think you'll get no post office. So obviously no delivery. You'll have your state buildings closed, to include the county building and things like that. But some folks actually work, like Smitty and I. So President's Day is obviously designed to coincide with 2 presidential birthdays, George Washington on the 22nd and Abraham Lincoln, who would have celebrated a birthday on the 12th. These days, U.S. presidents have been known to host extravagant parties and military parades to honor their own birthdays. But George and Honest Abe didn't quite fit the bill of the media-hungry presidents. The executive director of the George Washington Presidential Library in Mount Vernon says Washington paid little attention to his birthday, and there's actually no record of him doing anything outside of a brief acknowledgement in his diary. Pretty much the same for Lincoln. He grew out of very humble beginnings, so it's unlikely there were any birthday parties as a child, and as an adult, he never celebrated his birthday, instead focusing on his work. That said, there's one account of Lincoln's wife, Mary, once making him a special almond cake, which he called the best cake I ever ate. Here are a few fun facts about presidential birthdays. President's Day is always the 3rd Monday in February, meaning that it will range from February 15th through the 21st. It'll never be on George's actual birthday, which is the 22nd, or on Abe's actual birthday, which is the 12th. George and Abe aren't the only U.S. presidents who were born in February. William Henry Harrison, who was president briefly in 1841, was born on February 9th. Ronald Reagan was born on February 6th. Every month has at least one president's birthday in it. October and November have 6. September has the least with just 1. William Taft was born on September 15th. There's one shared birthday. James Polk and Warren Harding were both born on November 2nd. And this computer wants to reboot once again. And the first 7 presidents weren't technically born in America. Uh-oh. The first president born after the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776 was Martin Van Buren. He was born in New York in 1782. So there's some presidential fun facts for you. So, Smitty, I need an update from you on the situation with the Syracuse Orange. I saw that, is it Cayenne Anthony? Am I saying it right? Came out and said being benched was actually a good experience for him. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, he essentially said that he took it as an opportunity.
Against Virginia, he got benched.
Right.
He didn't play at all.
To reflect and to realize, his path and what he's up to. And he described it essentially, I think now that he's back in good graces, described it as being a good thing, an opportunity for him to reflect. But you said he played well Saturday, right?
Sure did.
Did he hit the game winner?
No, I don't know who had the game winner, but they scored with like 2 seconds, 2 seconds left on the clock, and 179-78. I think it was William Kyle that scored the William or Beasley. I'm not too sure on that one.
So, look, there's a concern about Syracuse not only making the big dance, if you will, but the ACC tournament. The tournament is scheduled from March 10th through the 14th. How many teams make it, Smitty, to the ACC tournament?
Well, Syracuse would make it right now.
Right now, it's 6 and 7.
Yeah.
But do you know how many teams make it?
No, I don't. I can look that up for you.
Hold on. Here we go. We got 15 schools make it.
Okay.
Okay. And right now, Syracuse is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right now, they're 11th. But a couple of losses, and they do have Duke and North Carolina coming up, would send them back down to the bottom of the standings. Although Pittsburgh and Georgia Tech, also Boston College, only have 2 conference wins.
Yeah, they'll eliminate the last 4. So Nate Kings converted a contested layup in the final seconds to score the winning basket for Syracuse on Saturday.
Let's see here. So let me double check this. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. They should make it.
Where do they sit right now?
I think they're 11th, but anyway, they're 6 and 7. There's several teams at 6 and 7.
Well, they play Duke tonight and then North Carolina on Saturday.
But only 3 teams get bumped out, and you have Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, and Boston College only have 2 wins.
And Syracuse still has Pittsburgh left.
Well, they better beat them. They're 2 and 11 in the conference.
Don't.
Georgia Tech also 2 and 11 in the conference, and Boston College is 2 and 10 in conference play. Notre Dame is 3 and 10. Wake Forest 4 and 8. So Syracuse should make the tournament. I mean, they would have to pretty much go winless the rest of the way here.
Here's who they have left. They have Duke tonight, North Carolina on Saturday, Wake Forest the following Saturday. Then they travel to Louisville, and then they close out on March 7th against Pittsburgh. So is Wake Forest is ahead of them?
No, behind them.
Behind
Wake Forest
them?
is only 4 and 8 in the conference.
Okay.
And they go off conference record alone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Louisville's up in the upper tier.
Yeah, for sure. Louisville's 8 and 4 in the conference. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7th.
Okay.
You got Duke at 12 and 1 in conference in the ACC. Virginia's 10 and 2, and Clemson's 10 and 3.
Well,
North Carolina's only 8 and 4 in the conference.
Well, Virginia, very good. Syracuse is going to have to. I was having lunch with a close friend of ours yesterday. But he used to work here, Jim Rondinelli, and we were discussing Syracuse, and he says,
I like how you say it's like the mafia. This friend of ours.
He says Boozer's going to have a great game tonight against Syracuse.
Yeah.
Carlos Boozer's son.
Yeah.
If Syracuse can come out and play competitive with them for the first 10 minutes of the game and make it a good game at half, and they're in it, I give them a chance. But if Duke opens up and Syracuse gets down by 15-16, then I don't see them coming back. Well, they did come back against North Carolina, though, in North Carolina, but they just ran out of gas. They just got to stay competitive with them for the first half tonight.
Yeah, so I don't want to jinx them, but I would be shocked if they didn't make it. If only 3 teams don't make the tournament, I mean,
they'll make it, but they'll end up playing probably in the first. They'll end up getting the first day, but then they won't get a bye though.
Right now they would play. Again, this isn't official. Right now they would play 11, 12. They would play Wake Forest.
Okay.
In the first round. So that's coming up only a couple weeks away. We're getting closer to turning the clocks I was going to say turning them back, but it's turning the clocks ahead.
You could turn the clock back, get an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah. It's going to be March 8th when we actually do that, which is that Sunday. So I guess technically for most people it's going to be March 7th because usually you do that before you go to bed.
Which is the Heart Radiothon. I mean, Heart Weekend.
That's Heart Weekend, right? That'll be the run and walk that day, and we'll be doing the Radiothon on March 6th. So we're only, is it 2 weekends? Is that the third weekend from now? So you got the 21st, the 28th, yes. So I guess 3 more weekends till we're there, but it's actually only, that would be 2 weeks, 2 weeks and change. We're getting there. It's getting a little brighter. Couple minutes a day we get. Couple minutes here, couple minutes there. All right, we'll take a break and come back. We'll get a news update at the top of the hour. A Monday morning, President's Day. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
If your loved one is battling addiction, you should know there is hope. Through the Good News Foundation's PAL group, you will find confidentiality, respect, acceptance, and support. Learn about healthy relationships, enabling, and other important concepts to work toward healing. Go to the Good News Foundation's website and join the PAL group. When someone you love has an addiction, there is hope. Good News Foundation, sharing faith, offering hope, and serving others.
I'm Bill Hemmer, and these are the most impactful moments in American history. In 1887, 20-year-old Anne Sullivan arrived in Tuscumbia, Alabama, with a daunting task ahead of her. It was at the Ivy Green estate that she was to teach a girl whom others could not reach. Her name, Helen Keller. As an infant, a severe infection robbed Helen of her sight and hearing, leaving her alone in a dark and silent world. For weeks, Anne tried to introduce language to Helen by tracing words, milk, drink, mug, onto Helen's hand. But finally, one word clicked. Anne wrote water on Helen's palm and poured cool water over Helen's hands. In that moment, Helen had the keys to unlock the barrier of language before her and change the way the world approached disabilities in education. For more, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
They still have hope. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Savannah Guthrie says in the Today Show host's new video on Instagram that also has this message to whoever has her mother or knows where she is.
You're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing.
And on day 16 of the search for Nancy Guthrie, there's a focus on DNA on a glove found near her home, a glove similar
to the one that masked suspect is wearing on the Nest Cam video. The DNA profile lifted from that glove will be added to the CODIS national database for comparison. We could get results soon. Now, CODIS contains more than 19 million offender DNA profiles and has helped the FBI in more than 750,000 cases. And Fox News Digital reports that investigators are using a high-tech Bluetooth scanner on the bottom of low-lying helicopters to detect Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker signal.
That's Fox's Matt Finn in Tucson, Arizona. It is day 3 for Homeland Security without funding, and with Congress on break this week, there's no funding in sight after Democrats had blocked it, demanding ICE reform after controversial immigration enforcement in Minnesota, including 2 deadly shootings. Senator Chris Coons tells Fox News Sunday.
They ought to wear body cameras. You ought to be able to know that they are law enforcement and what agency they're from and have a name or a badge number.
But Republican South Carolina Senator Tim Scott told Fox,
"You're making our homeland, the United States of America, less secure because you're trying to make a political point."
ICE still has funding, but Homeland Security Fed workers at the TSA and elsewhere are going without paychecks.
That's Fox's Jill Nato. Iran's foreign minister's holding talks today with the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency ahead of another negotiation with the U.S. tomorrow in Switzerland after President Trump's threats to attack again unless Iran makes a nuclear deal. There will also be another round of talks tomorrow in Geneva trying to stop Russia's war in Ukraine. America's listening to Fox News.
Following the attacks on 9/11/01, FDNY firefighter Daniel Foley assisted in the rescue and recovery efforts at Ground Zero. Daniel spent months and months searching for victims. Now, Daniel's death was the direct result of 9/11-related cancer. He leaves behind his wife, Carrie, and their children. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family's home. Join us. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It is an unstable time in the Alps. 3 skiers died in an avalanche in France on Friday, 2 more and another one yesterday.
On the Italian side of Mont Blanc, Western Europe's tallest mountain, the avalanche tore through an off-trail route near the borders with France and Switzerland. A third person was partially buried in the snow but pulled to safety. Italy's Alpine Rescue reports that 13 backcountry skiers, climbers and hikers died in the Italian mountains in the week leading up to February 8th. That's a record high. Fresh snow and high winds making the snowpack unusually unstable. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Well, none of that has affected the Winter Olympics in Italy. The U.S. is tied for third in the medal count with 17. Norway is leading with 26. NASCAR has revved up a new season, starting with the famous Daytona 500.
Tyler Reddick comes to the line. Wow. A shower of sparks behind him.
Reddick never led the race until winning on the final lap on Fox. It's also a win for NBA legend Michael Jordan, who co-owns the racing team Tyler Reddick drives for. The NBA's All-Star shine last night.
It was the 4th different format in the last 4 years for the NBA All-Star game, with the 2026 edition featuring a round-robin tournament between a pair of teams made up of players only born in the U.S. and a world team with players born outside of it, and the top 2 advancing to a championship game. It sounded confusing, but the players did seem to try, which is one of the annual criticisms. And the 2 U.S. teams, the Stars, which was mostly younger players, and the Stripes, with mainly veterans, advancing to the final.
On the drive and finish, Anthony Edwards.
On NBC, Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves scoring 7 straight points in that final, leading his Stars team to the win and taking home the MVP. Greg Thompson, Fox News.
On Wall Street, there will be no trading on this President's Day holiday. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 29 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 7:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. An investigation continues into what caused a fatal fire on Friday night in the city of Rome. Crews were called to battle a blaze at a 3-story building on East Dominic Street in Rome, arriving to find heavy smoke and flames coming from that building. One person tragically ended up losing their life after they re-entered the building to try and save a dog. No other injuries were reported. A few people have been displaced by the fire. They are being assisted by the American Red Cross. Starting today, the State Department of Motor Vehicles will begin its brand new point system. That means some of the most serious violations, such as alcohol or drug-related offenses, speeding in a construction zone, and leaving the scene of an accident, will now carry higher point values. Officials claim these changes will help keep persistently dangerous drivers off the roads. Existing point assignments for things like distracted driving and equipment violations remain unchanged. This is part of the overhaul of the New York State DMV system, and it's the reason why your local DMV office is closed until Wednesday at least. And that also means that you cannot do business if you have registrations and things like that. You cannot update those online either. Again, that will be shut down through at least Wednesday. Valbiala Ski Center in Utica is back open to the public. The ski hill along the parkway is named for Olympic speed skater Valentin Bajanovich. Bialis. Mayor Mike Galimi was the first to head down the slope this weekend. The ski hill will offer special winter break hours and discounted rates for visitors. Through this week, the ski hill will be open Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., on Saturday from noon to 9 p.m., and on Sunday from 12 to 4. All lift tickets during this period will cost $20, while tow handle only tickets are $10 per day.
And it looks good, Jeff, when you see coming from 49 into Rome. From Rome, you get off like towards North Utica to go over the loop there to go towards Walmart. If you're coming from Rome, and you can see Val Bialis lit up at nighttime. It looks good to see the ski chalet light up again. I seen it on Saturday night when I was driving.
That's great. No, that's a good thing to see. We'll talk more about this coming up. As a matter of fact, Lance made a comment last week. I want to kind of dig into that a little bit. And it was... Okay, there we go. All right. An arrest has been made after a $50,000 piece of equipment was nearly stolen in the parking lot of Slocum-Dixon Medical Group. Authorities say that the owner discovered his New Holland skid steer had been moved and that an attached extension cord from the skid steer heater had been damaged, resulting in approximately $80 worth of damage. The skid steer and its accessories are valued at over $50,000. Now, on Saturday morning, a potential buyer traveled from out of state to the rear parking lot of Slocum-Dixon Medical Group to purchase that skid steer. The buyer had been in contact with an individual identified as Charles Keeler, a 35-year-old man from Utica. They say that he was negotiating to buy that skid steer for $12,000, thinking that Keeler was the lawful owner. It became apparent that Keeler did not have the lawful ownership of the skid steer. The owner immediately contacted New Hartford police. Officers were advised that Keeler was en route to meet the buyer. New Hartford police coordinated an operation. As Keeler arrived, he was taken into custody and faces several charges, including attempted grand larceny, a Class D felony, criminal mischief, a Class A misdemeanor, another charge of attempted grand larceny, and scheme to defraud. He was arrested and taken into custody. He was being held pending his arraignment in Oneida County. And checking local gas prices, if you haven't noticed, local gas prices are up just a little bit. Central New York drivers right now paying an average of $2.98 for a gallon of regular fuel. That's up 1 penny from last week. I know it's not much, but I think we're heading in the wrong direction. It's also 1 cent more than drivers were paying at this time 1 month ago. The statewide average is at $2.99. Nationally, it is at $2.92. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:10. This update is brought to you by CSEA. The CSEA community spans the state, yet CSEA unites your voice. One voice for fair wages, one voice for vital benefits and secure futures. CSEA, one voice for many.
There will be some patchy fog starting off this Monday, otherwise cloudy through the afternoon with a high today near 38. Then some light rain or light snow may develop overnight with areas of fog as the low hovers around 32. Some clouds into the afternoon tomorrow with a high near 40. The rain will develop Wednesday and possibly mix with snow at times with a high of 37. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 29 degrees at 7:11. All right, from the IBEW 43 local sports desk. Team Stars took home the NBA All-Star Game on Sunday in Inglewood. The game was the first to feature a round-robin bracket of American players against a team of international players. Team Stars beat Team World 37-35, lost 42-40 to Team Stripes before topping Team Stripes again 47-21 in the championship game. Anthony Edwards was voted MVP after scoring 32 points in those 3 games. The Raiders coaching staff is coming together under new head coach Clint Kubiak. ESPN says that Vegas is hiring Seahawks quarterbacks coach Andrew Giannacco as its offensive coordinator. He will reunite with Kubiak after working with him with the Seahawks, Saints, and Vikings. In addition, the Raiders officially promoted run game coordinator and defensive line coach Rob Leonard to become the team's new defensive coordinator. They will also retain Joe Woods as defensive pass game coordinator. The Seahawks also looking at a offensive coordinator, Brian Fleury. He was the 49ers tight ends coach. This is not official yet, but multiple reports say it is in the works. A star player on the Phillies is still upset about comments made by the team's president of baseball operations, Bryce Harper, telling the media at spring training on Sunday that it's kind of still wild that Dave Dombrowski questioned if he was an elite player after last season. The 33-year-old hit just .261 with 27 home runs. It was his lowest average of his career, which dates back to 2019. Let's see here. Team USA was held off the podium at the Winter Games yesterday. Aaron Jackson came the closest to winning a medal for the Stars and Stripes, finishing 5th in the women's speed skating 500-meter final. Jackson was unable to defend her gold after winning the event at the 2022 Winter Games in Beijing. Elsewhere, the U.S. men's curling team picked up a pair of round-robin victories, topping Sweden and Norway. Team USA has 5 gold and 17 total medals. The U.S. women's hockey team will face Sweden today with a trip to the gold medal round on the line. Team USA advanced to the semifinal round with a convincing 6-0 rout of Italy. The Americans have now outscored their opponents 26-1. I'll tell you, I get nervous. When it's such a blowout like this, it's 26-1. It looks like nobody can touch this American team. I just hope they don't get overconfident. Don't get too cocky.
This is some of the same players that played on the women's against Canada at the Odd like 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome. That is so awesome that there's that local tie-in. They've outscored opponents 26-1 so far. Their lone goal by an opponent was the Czechs in the tournament opener on February 5th. I hope they win the gold, but it's looking so obvious that I'm just hoping we don't put the cart in front of the horse. Canada will clash with Switzerland in the other semifinal round. The 2 winners then meet for the gold medal on Thursday. The 2 losers will play for the bronze. The U.S. celebrating a perfect record to close out the men's hockey league group stage. The Stars and Stripes crushed Germany 5-1 in Milan. Team captain Austin Matthews lit the lamp twice and tallied an assist. The U.S. went 3-0 in preliminary play and earned the 2 seed in the knockout stage. Rival Canada secured the top spot after beating France 10-2. America will face the winner of Sweden and Latvia, which takes place on Tuesday. Syracuse basketball, a win at the end. Smitty, I'll let you tell the story.
Oh, so last second win, Nate Kings put in the winning bucket, 79-78 against Southern Methodist SMU on Saturday, and Colgate lost a heartbreaker to Navy, 84-80, but they were down by 18 and clawed back. So if you're looking for some basketball tonight, Colgate plays Boston University at 6 on CBS Sports Channel, and then Syracuse plays Duke at Cabot Indoor as part of Big Money on ESPN at 7.
Syracuse now 15-11. And I know they have Duke tonight, as you said, and UNC on Saturday. I think we talked last week about they weren't a lock for the ACC tournament. I don't see how they wouldn't make the ACC tournament right now, just because there's already 3 teams with only 2 wins. So fingers crossed. Okay, so as we wrapped up last week, we talked with Sokolowski about the horse, the dinghy bar, which was running this weekend.
At Aqueduct in race 10.
At Aqueduct in race 10. How did the horse do? Well, we'll take a break. We'll tell you. You might be surprised. It's some good news. I don't want to spoil it, but it's some good news if you don't know. We'll have that when we come back. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York. With 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate, you can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
what do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Frozen pipes? That's an emergency. Call Drain Masters now, 315-363-7802. Drain Masters has a full team of professionals ready to help you right now. Homes, businesses, mobile homes, trailers, frozen pipes, or clogged drains. Drain Masters is on it. No water? Pipes freezing? Drains backing up? Call Drain Masters now, 315-363-7802. Don't wait for a burst pipe or flooding. Frozen pipes, clogged drains, Drain Masters. 315-363-7802.
It's time for a Utica tradition, America's greatest heart run and walk on March 7th. And on March 6th, it's the 55th anniversary of the WIBX Heart Radiothon. Sponsored by the Slocum-Dixon Medical Group this year, the Radiothon started when local runners honored the passing of WIBX personality Ralph Ellinger. They ran for 18 miles and raised money for the American Heart Association. Celebrate with us on March 6th. Hear from Slocum-Dixon doctors about ways to be healthy. Cheer on participants in the treadmill challenge and help fight heart disease.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
It's 7:19. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. So, Smitty, the dinghy bar horse, ran over the weekend at Aqueduct.
Yeah, 4:45, Mark said on Saturday was the time.
So in the previous race, which was, I guess, the 2025 New York Stallion Great White Way, we had talked to Mark before that. I think there were some high hopes going into that race. Unfortunately, Dinghy Bar finished 5th. So, however, Saturday on Valentine's Day came in 3rd place. Very cool. Match 7 took first. Who's Your Zaddy took 2nd, but Dinghy Bar finished in 3rd place. And I'm looking here at the last 5 races, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have finishes of 3rd, 2nd, 5th, and 3rd. So that's 4 of the last 5. It finished in the money there. How cool is that?
Cool. And it wasn't the original jockey. She was in Gulfstream, so they had a sub jockey on.
Yes, Luis
Rivera.
That's right. I wonder if they want to keep him now because the horse came in 3rd place. And we talked to Mark. Is it Mark Sokolowski? Yeah. I just know him as Sokolowski. When he joined us last week, he said...
He was on Friday.
Friday. What'd I say? Last week, yeah. The December race where the horse came in 5th, he said coming out of the gate, it kind of slipped up and got a bad start, which I understand can happen, and there's nothing you can do about that. But for the last 5 races, 2nd, 3rd, and you got the 5th place finish. So how cool is that? Happy to hear about that, and I wish them the best of luck going forward. All right, so I'd like some reaction if we can get some. You can call in if you want, 315-736-0186. Send us a message via the WIBX 950 mobile app, or you can do it on YouTube. The Val Biala situation, we haven't heard a ton from listeners about whether or not you think there should be a fee charged or not. Should it matter whether or not you live in Utica or if you're from outside the city? Again, my take is it's an expense for city taxpayers, so I do think you have to charge some kind of a fee. What I want to mention, though, was Lance and Lee last week, I guess his take on this is a little bit different. I think he thinks it should be free. So he brought up the Rome skate park as an example. But Utica's got a skate park, right?
Yeah,
I
Paul
believe-
Mary did one.
Yeah, over in West Utica. And I remember Katie was on this. If I'm not mistaken, please forgive me. If I'm wrong, I think it was $2 million.
Yeah.
And but there's not a recurring cost. For instance, there's not electricity running to take you and your skateboard up to the top of the skate mountain, if you will. I guess it would have to be lit as much as you would light a park at night. But there's not a recurring cost. So I think using the Rome skate park as an example, unless it's something extravagant, which I've driven by it several times. As a matter of fact, when I was at FedEx.
What, the Rome skate park down on the off Dominic Street there and
Yeah.
Harbor Point there, whatever, Harbor Way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like something they would sell tickets for. It's just a stationary structure. You don't need to create new rocks to update it like you do need a snowmaker. There's not electricity running it on a gondola type situation, or the chair lift, not a gondola, the lift. And then I guess so. If you argue that it needs to be lit at night, do you know do they light it at night, or is it only open during the day?
I don't know.
Most parks are only open until the sun goes down. So I don't know that there's a recurring cost there. But that's one of the big points. Like, Mayor Galimi said this when he was in last week. If the golf course didn't make money, the city wouldn't be in the golf course business. You got to mow the lawns. You got to pay people to mow the lawns. To some extent, I'm sure there's dirt that has to be purchased. There's grass seed that has to be purchased. It needs to be watered at times. There's a cost there, so you have to charge for that. That can't just be on the taxpayer dime.
Well, Mayor Lanigan will be on next week, so maybe we can address that with him.
Yeah, we'll ask him. And I'm not knocking the park at all. I think it's great. I think it's awesome that Utica's got one too, but Utica doesn't charge for its skate park or whatever structure they have in that park, at least to my knowledge. If I'm wrong on this, please let me know. 315-736-0186. Lance, you're more than welcome to call in and set me straight if I'm wrong on that. But I think that's the difference. There's a recurring fee. That's why it can't be free. Otherwise, it just becomes the taxpayers have to do it all. Anyway, you can comment via the WIBX 950 app. You can comment on our YouTube page as well. Smitty is running to grab the door, which I think means that Chuck Lester is on his way in. All right, so last week in Florida, how many funny stories start out that way, or weird crime stories? Last week in Florida, police confronted a 30-year-old man because they thought he resembled someone with an active arrest warrant. If you were ever in a situation where you wanted to give a fake name, what kind of a fake name would you give? Now, I don't recommend this at all, for sure. Last week, police in Florida confronted this 30-year-old man. They believed he resembled someone with an active arrest warrant. When they asked this individual his name, he said, George Costanza. Of course, that's Jason Alexander's character from Seinfeld. The man's name was not George Costanza. It could happen. You could have the name George Costanza for sure, but he was using that as the Seinfeld reference. They later ID'd him as Josiah Darling through facial recognition technology. Josiah was then arrested on outstanding trespassing charges, and he was also given a charge of resisting an officer, which they're saying is a new charge for what he said to the cop. But wouldn't that be impersonating somebody? Giving a false name? I don't know why that's resisting. Maybe that's what the book is on, that's what the law book says in Florida, I guess. Smitty, we are going to do a free money question of the day coming up in about 20 minutes. How much money would you like to put on the line here this morning?
$150.
$150 for a Monday. I like it, Smitty. A little confidence in me, huh? You think I'm going to come up with a good question? Well, I'll try not to. Hopefully we'll give away $150. I'll tell you this. The answer to my question has already been stated this morning. It's already been mentioned. We'll do that coming up in 20 minutes. A quick timeout. We'll come back, update news, and we'll be joined by Chuck Lester with an announcement he's going to make here this morning. It is First News Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Cartoon Madness is coming to the Rome Capitol Theater February 16th through the 21st at 3 p.m. daily, 3 and 7 p.m. on Saturday, February 21st. This year's theme, Looney Tunes Goes to War. 8 dozen cartoons in the Looney Tunes Merry Melody series with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and more, all made during the World War II period. Tickets are $5 for adults and $3 for children 12 and under. More info at RomeCapital.com. Cartoon Madness, Looney Tunes Goes to War, February 16th through the 21st at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
Possibility starts with the right financial solutions. From AmeriQ Credit Union. Get started today at ameriq.org/possibility.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
All right, we have cloudy skies, 29 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaske. It is 7:28. Border czar Tom Homan says some immigration enforcement reforms proposed by Democrats are, quote, unreasonable. Homan made the comment during CBS Face the Nation. Among the demands he touched on was for immigration agents to wear masks, which he says he doesn't like the masks, but believes that they are necessary for officer safety reasons. A glove with DNA appears to be a match for a glove worn by a person seen on a doorbell camera the morning that Nancy Guthrie disappeared. The glove, which was found about 2 miles from Guthrie's southern Arizona home, was one of 16 gloves collected on over several days in the area around Guthrie's residence. It comes as the search for the mother of Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie now enters its 3rd week. Tehran is working toward a nuclear agreement with the United States, according to an Iranian diplomat. Iran and the U.S. are scheduled to hold nuclear talks in Geneva tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Pentagon has deployed a second aircraft carrier to the region as the White House weighs military options if those talks are unsuccessful. Former President Barack Obama is speaking out about a racist video recently shared on social media by President Trump. Trump claims he was unaware of the racist portion of the video, which he shared earlier this month, which depicted the Obamas as apes. He has not apologized for it. Obama was asked about the video in a podcast this week and said the people he meets with in his travels across the U.S. still believe in decency, courtesy, and kindness and find this behavior deeply troubling. One of the men who allegedly massacred people at Sydney's Bondi Beach made his first appearance virtually today. 15 people died and many were injured during a Jewish Hanukkah celebration in December. Officials say suspect Naveed Akram didn't talk much during the hearing. His father Saheed was killed in the gunfight with police. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:30. Coming up, $150 on the line in our Hobica Law Firm free money question of the day. Also, a chance to win movie passes for the Glenwood Movieplex Rome Cinema 8. We'll do that coming up in about 10 minutes. First, here's your forecast.
There will be some patchy fog starting off this Monday, otherwise cloudy through the afternoon with a high today near 38. Then some light rain or light snow may develop overnight with areas of fog as the low hovers around 32. Some clouds into the afternoon tomorrow with a high near 40. And the rain will develop Wednesday and possibly mix with snow at times with a high of 37. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 30 degrees at 7:31.
Friday means another 50-50 Friday. This week, score a $50 e-voucher to Pizza Boys in New York Mills for just $25 exclusively through this station's website. For the best New York-style pizza in the Utica area, head to Pizza Boys, a full-service pizzeria known for hot, cheesy, hand-tossed pies made fresh and served right. Go with a specialty pie, stick with a classic favorite, or build your own masterpiece just the way you like it. And it's not just pizza. Pizza Boys also serves up paninis, fresh salads, calzones, and overstuffed subs. Craving wings? Choose from more than 11 flavors and find your new favorite. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or game day, Pizza Boys delivers big flavor every time. To save on something delicious, head to this station's website this Friday morning, click on 50/50 Friday link, and grab your $50 Pizza Boys e-voucher for just $25 while they last.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Winter has officially taken over, and the cold isn't playing around. Though the weather is frigid, the deals at Steve Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer are on fire. If your ride isn't ready for snow, ice, and everything Central New York throws at it, it's time to turn up the heat with a brand new Chevy from Steve Ponte. Right now, drive a 2026 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for just $319 a month. Need more muscle? Get into a 2026 Chevy Colorado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive with the towing package for only $299 a month. Or go big with a 2026 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, just $399 a month. Warm up to a better ride today at Steve Ponte Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer. Chevrolet, together let's drive. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Chevrolet.
Customer must qualify top tier credit with GM Financial and qualify for the GM card. Equinox and Silverado must have Chevy lease with GM Financial and household and $3,000 down. Colorado must have select vehicle and household and $1,000 down. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. Must take delivery by February 28, 2026. See dealer for details.
Being prepared for winter weather starts with New Holland. For large snow removal jobs to clearing driveways, New Holland has the equipment to stay one step ahead. Overcome winter's toughest conditions faster, cleaner, and safer with the New Holland lineup of skid steer loaders, compact track loaders, compact wheel loaders, and compact utility tractors. Visit Clinton Tractor today and get equipped for winter.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
Cartoon Madness is coming to the Rome Capitol Theater February 16th through the 21st at 3 p.m. daily, 3 and 7 p.m. on Saturday, February 21st. This year's theme, Looney Tunes Goes to War. 8 dozen cartoons in the Looney Tunes Merry Melody series with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and more, all made during the World War II period. Tickets are $5 for adults and $3 for children 12 and under. More info at RomeCapital.com. Cartoon Madness, Looney Tunes Goes to War, February 16th through the 21st at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is 7:35. First News Keeler in the morning. Bill, we believe, is back tomorrow. It's just Manaski and Smitty here this morning. Coming up, we'll talk with Chuck Lester, who's got an announcement to make, and not to let the cat out of the bag. I think he's running for office again, but we'll get the official word coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, we'll take caller number 8 at 315-736-0186. Your chance to win $150 from the Hobica Law Firm. I have a good question. I want to give away this money, so here is a hint. It's timely, and I already blurted out the answer earlier this morning, depending on how early you were listening. So your chance to win now, 315-736-0186, and we'll talk to Chuck Lester coming up here in a second. I've never been one of these guys or people who, even when I go to the gym, necessarily has to have the water jug that you carry around. I know a lot of people like to carry their water. I can understand it if you're going to the gym. I can understand it if you're going on a hike. Maybe you're going up to Old Forge. You're going to do one of the mountains or one of the trails there. You want to make sure that you're hydrated, especially if you get lost or something happens. Make sure that you're hydrated. I get it. With all due respect, I've never been one of these people who carries around. A lot of times I'll have a cup of coffee, but they carry around this jug of water. Like there's going to be some situation that's going to immediately dehydrate them, and they got to have their water. I know some people do it for diet reasons. For instance, if you're starting a diet and you don't drink enough water, they'll tell you got to drink 8 8-ounce cups of water a day. etc. So people do it and it's measured off. You can go ahead and let them know that we have a winner, or that we have a contestant. That they've got to drink so much a day. I get it for that reason, but this idea that you're going to dehydrate and from the time that you walk from your car to your office or something like that during the day I just don't get it. Anyway, how often do you clean that reusable water bottle? A nurse practitioner is out giving advice saying it seems like something very mundane, but it's extremely important that you wash your water bottles. Every sip transfers germs from your mouth to the bottle. Every touch adds more germs from your hands, and all those tiny nooks and crannies in your water bottle can turn into a breeding ground for bacteria and mold. And all that bad stuff can lead to stomach aches, itchy throats, and even trigger allergies and asthma. Experts recommend using warm, soapy water daily, I guess just like you would wash anything else, and giving it a deep clean at least once a week. A pipe cleaner-shaped tool can be helpful for the straw area, and if you're using protein shakes or sugary drinks, you definitely need to deep clean it every day. Yeah, for sure. If you're mixing in some product in there, some kind of food or something, you absolutely need to clean that bottle every single day. Tim Reed checking in this morning. He said, well, doesn't Bill carry Tony Pacenti's water every day? I wonder how often he cleans that bottle. That's a great joke, Tim. That is pretty good. I don't know if Lance and Lee appreciates it, but we'll ask him about that later. All right, Smitty, who do we have on the line?
Mike from Schuyler.
Mike from Schuyler. Mike, you ready to win $150?
I'm going to try.
Mike,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can. This is totally doable, as Bill would say. Totally doable, and I gave the answer already this morning. Obviously, today is President's Day. We celebrate the birthdays of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. There were two other presidents born in the month of February. Who are they? Just give me one. Ready? Go.
Jefferson.
That's a good guess. It's not
Thomas
correct.
Jefferson.
That's a good guess, but it's not correct. William Henry Harrison, who was briefly president in 1841, was born on February 9th. And then a very popular one that President Trump and many supporters of President Trump like to look back on. Is that a hint there? Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Reagan was born on February 6th.
Oh, I should have guessed Reagan. That was one of my favorites. I should have guessed him. Son of a gun. I was thinking one of the first ones. That's why I went to Jefferson.
Yeah, early on. So I would have taken Harrison or Reagan, but you still have some movie passes for the Glenwood Movieplex Rome Cinema 8. Stay on the line. Smitty's going to get your information. And Smitty, if we could take a quick break, we'll come back. We'll have Chuck Lester here on Keeler Show. It's President's Day. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Being prepared for winter weather starts with New Holland. For large snow removal jobs to clearing driveways, New Holland has the equipment to stay one step ahead. Overcome winter's toughest conditions faster, cleaner, and safer with the New Holland lineup of skid steer loaders, compact track loaders, compact wheel loaders, and compact utility tractors. Visit Clinton Tractor today and get equipped for winter.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
Cartoon Madness is coming to the Rome Capitol Theater February 16th through the 21st at 3 p.m. daily, 3 and 7 p.m. on Saturday, February 21st. This year's theme, Looney Tunes Goes to War. 8 dozen cartoons in the Looney Tunes Merry Melody series with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and more, all made during the World War II period. Tickets are $5 for adults and $3 for children 12 and under. More info at RomeCapital.com. Cartoon Madness, Looney Tunes Goes to War, February 16th through the 21st at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
No Keeler today. We hope he will be back with us tomorrow. It's just Manaski and Smitty this morning sitting in, and joining us now in studio, Chuck Lester, who is a frequent contributor to the program. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning.
Not only a frequent contributor to the program, but you are involved in local government, have been over the years, and I guess you have an announcement this morning.
Yeah, Brian Lamick and myself, we started talking about this about a year ago, and he said, I told him that if he stepped up and wanted to run for mayor again, that I would be very happy to be his running mate. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm announcing that I'm gonna give the trustee one of the trustee seats that's up for election this time another shot.
So, did you hold that position before?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and for how long? And
they're 4-year terms. So we got elected, I think it was in 18, and then we were done, in 22.
So is there a particular issue you think needs fixing, or you just told him that if he ran for mayor, you would jump in as well?
I don't really have any issues with any of the people that are on the village board or the job they've done. They all, it's a thankless job.
Yeah.
These 5 individuals that are there now stepped up. They filled the position, and they did a reasonably good job. I just think that with my hands-on experience of the 4 years that we were there, when we were dealt all kinds of issues with the water, my whole goal is to whatever faces the village, we'll tackle it head on like we did before, and hopefully make improvements where are needed.
What is the current water situation to your understanding?
As far as I know, right now there's a program for lead service replacements, but that's up to the homeowners to initiate that, I believe. There was grant money for that, which is a good thing. It would virtually be no cost, I guess, to the homeowners themselves. And then the valve situation, they basically wrapped that up, I think, at the end of the last construction season. That was all. I would say that most of that stuff was put in place when Brian and I were in office in the first time.
As far as the valve replacement?
Yes, that was part of the whole water package that we dealt with. Ilion is not unique in Central New York. We had an old, antiquated water system that was basically ignored. And I'm not throwing any stones or blaming anybody. What's in the past is in the past. So you want to move forward. So we put in a massive rehabilitation project for the water system and water lines, transmission lines. We ran a 16-inch well water transmission line from the well site in downtown Ilion to the treatment plant, 2 miles, in less than 18 months. From talking about it to having clean water running through that line. That's unheard of as far as time goes. And we did it because it was necessary, and we put the pedal to the metal and got it done. And it's greatly improved the quality of the water and the water supply for Ilion residents.
So the current situation with this replacement, my understanding is, because we did talk with Mayor Stevens about this, when you talk about the lead line, is that just the line from the house to the road?
A lot of the service lines, I say a lot, I don't really know how many.
If it hasn't been replaced, essentially, it's probably lead, right?
Well, let me just, first of all, when our project was underway, when it got started, I stopped at the the work site every day on my way to my job site and on my way home. And I met every Wednesday while that was going on. And we're just constantly discussing what was going on, what was needed. What was discovered when they were doing the transmission line that had nothing to do with anybody's individual service. If they came upon a lead service line, they replaced it. And that was just like, okay, we'll put that into the project because we're there. It had been no sense doing all that excavation and work and then not doing something that was right there biting you in the butt.
Yeah.
So anyway, as far as the lead services are, a lot of the times what they did is where they designated where there was going to be a home possibly built, they would put a lead service from the main to the corporation, from the corporation cock at the main to the curb to a corporation in the street. And then people could hook into that and go from there. So some places it might be from the street side back to the main, and other times it might be from the street side to the house. Depends on the age of the house and what you got coming in. It varies throughout the village.
Do you know, I know you're not in office right now, but do you know how much, that sounds like a lot of work and a lot of money. How is there a finite amount of money that would,
I can't
is this
remember the
gonna run
exact
out?
amount of money that was put out there, but it was a substantial amount of money that was allowed for lead service replacement.
Yeah, and it's a great thing. I think it's awesome that you guys are doing this. You talked about the system being antiquated and not being alone, but I think on a lot of levels, when it comes to replacement, you guys are way ahead of other communities because of the work that's had to be done.
The problem is that if you wait, what's it going to do? It's going to cost more.
Yeah.
And then it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
So we decided that we grabbed the bull by the horns, and then right in the middle of all our water issues, we had the thing where, I don't know if you remember, we had the governor stopped in Ilion, New York, and I'm standing out there in sub-zero weather in my work clothes. Brian was there, and the governor was in a windbreaker and penny loafers. So he said, "Is there a warmer place we can meet?" And that was where we had that. This is how crazy some of the stuff was back then. There was 2 parallel lines running into a main, and both of them broke. So it was almost an impossible situation to get under control right away, and it about drained the system. It was really traumatic. I got a call at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to come down and get going, and I immediately went down to the village office. I met with the mayor. We got on the phone with people, and there again, we would hit the ground running and did what we had to do immediately to get the situation under control. It took most of the day, but we did get stuff squared away. Everybody had water, and we eventually had the construction or the reconstruction get things straightened out.
Yeah. So, all right. Talk about why voters should we don't pull levers anymore, but pull your lever again. They obviously did at one point.
Well, I'm a lifelong resident of the village. The only time I spent out of it was a 7-month vacation in Florida when I was in my 20s. We had fun. I've been married for 47 years to the same woman. I'm just like my dad. I married a Mohawk girl. I've got 3 kids, 3 sons-in-law. I've got 3 grandkids. My 2 daughters that have children, they live close by. One of my son-in-law, who I'm mentoring him right now. He's my protege, we'll say that. Teaching him to do what I do, inside people's homes. And the idea is they've got the 2 kids that live right in the school district, right around the corner from me. And I love the fact that Ilion, above all, offers very good services. We have paid police. We have paid fire. We have a good DPW department. We have a strong light department. And we've got a municipal water. Those 5 things, not many villages have those. And if we could just maintain those, look for grant money. There's money out there. You just got to look for it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that when we were on a village board, we did financially responsible things as far as replacing equipment.
Did you mention the power as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ilion has municipal power, yes.
So I believe there was a message, a warning, if you will, that came out last week about expect higher than normal rates, just like I guess National Grid customers are seeing a spike. The unprecedented usage of power is leading to a spike in the municipal rate. Do you know anything about that or have a comment on it?
Something to do with the PSC, Power Public Service Commission. They ultimately have the power. and they're increasing the rates that Ilion would pay for. It's a complicated system. Excuse me.
Yeah,
it really is. It goes. Our power is transmitted to Ilion by National Grid, and it's not like it's okay that this is Ilion's, that's Mohawk's. It's not like that. All the electricity comes from the same place.
Sure.
It's just what you're charged for it.
Yeah.
And so that spike is due to, I guess, Public Service Commission.
Yeah, the Public Service Commission, the end of, wasn't last year, maybe it was a year and a half ago, requested National Grid requested and was approved by the Public Service Commission to increase rates, which is why a lot of people are freaking out, and rightfully so, when they've seen their bills. My understanding is this is represents 35% of what the increase will be. This is a phased in over 3-year increase. And I think the third year is going to represent a roughly 50% increase. So it's only going to get worse. I don't know. Some people are talking about what are we going to do? And I'm all for doing something. I just don't, I think it's too late. I think the ship has already sailed. People are talking about trying to find a way to fix it or retroactively freeze the raise or something like that. But
generate more electricity.
Exactly.
That's really where it is.
I totally agree.
Just
supply and demand.
On a small thing, we have, I believe it's Ilion and Mohawk have municipal power.
Mm-hmm.
Herkimer does not. They actually sold out their power years ago to National Grid. I don't understand sometimes, why don't these communities band together? I know you don't want people, they get scared when you talk about consolidation. But if you group together, you're a bigger customer. You've got more say. You got more people involved. So it perplexes me why we don't explore those things. And that's forward thinking. And I know a lot of people get all their shorts in a knot. But you have Little Falls, Herkimer, and Ilion have paid fire departments. Why are there 3 separate paid fire departments in sneezing distance from each other? You could probably have better service, better coverage in a regional department. And I'm not trying to discredit any of the departments or credit any departments. But Ilion just bought this massive ladder truck that other people are going to use for free. And I'm not saying that I'm anti, municipal aid. That's helping your neighbors, one thing. But Ilion taxpayers bought this truck, and now if there's mutual aid, and there's another community that needs that, it goes for free. And I would think that you could open the door. I'm not saying we want to pound anybody or treat anybody unfairly, but we also want to be fair to the taxpayers of Ilion.
This never goes over well, right?
No, it does. But I'm not afraid to say this because I'm a forward thinker, and like I said, I really enjoyed my time when I was on the village board because we got stuff done. And that's my whole issue is I don't have any axes to grind. There's no animosity. I'm not out for revenge or anything like that. I love living where I live. I'm the old man of the neighborhood. When I started in there, the old timers used to catch the snow with the snow shovel. So I tried to keep up, and I've been doing it ever since. I take a lot of pride in myself, my home. As I say, I'm mentoring my son-in-law. Where am I?
What do you do? What do you do?
My company. It's ceiling and wall restorations. I'm like a body man for the house.
Okay.
And
this is what you're mentoring him in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you learn to do the stuff by doing it because every situation that I look at is unique.
Yeah.
There's not 2 water damaged ceilings that are alike. And a lot of older plaster homes, they just need a little TLC. There's one house down in Little Falls. I've probably done 8-10 rooms, and they've still got a few more to go. And it's about 36, 37 years I've been doing this. And my son-in-law's been with me. My son-in-law's been with me for about 4 or 5 years now, and it's he's picking it up pretty good.
Are you floating the idea of consolidation, or it's just?
That's just I'm putting it out there for the thought process. Let's get people thinking outside the box. I mean, remember a few years ago when Ilion was having their water issues, we actually reached out to Mohawk Valley Water Authority.
Mm-hmm.
We had multiple meetings with them, and there was supposed to be some stuff in the works, and it just kind of died on the vine. And there again, that's like Ilion did how many water studies and then never did anything. That's all I'm saying is if you open your eyes and look beyond the nose on your face, you'll see there's a big wide world out there, and we might be able to do stuff better. If we can't, hey, I don't have a problem with that. There's no animosity towards any of the employees or anything like that. I respect them. I actually worked for the water department at a couple different stints, and I enjoyed my time there. I look at stuff as a challenge, and the challenge is how can I make the village better for the residents at a financially responsible way. That's all I'm about.
You know, I said oftentimes just floating the idea of, no pun intended, floating it, of consolidation. A lot of times people don't like it and they reject it. But I will say, obviously, Central Valley Academy is a product of consolidation and merger.
I've got
so maybe the Valley, the Herkimer County is more open to it than I'm giving them credit for.
I'll throw something out to you. And this is what nobody really thinks about, but is the Herkimer County Sewer District. I was on that board for 8 years, and I saw what it's Mohawk, Ilion, Frankfort, town of Frankfort, and parts of the town of Frankfort, parts of the town of German Flats that came together and they formed a sewer district. And how many years ago was that? Yeah. And the idea is, I know when that was originated, my father was on the village board in Ilion. And there again, you've got 5 different communities that decided, hey, it's going to be more efficient and do it correctly to process our sewer at one spot. And it's been going for quite a number of years. And I was proud to say that I was on there for 8 years. It's a very, very efficient operation, well run. And I know it's kind of a, crappy subject, if you will, but the sewer district has really been an asset for those communities.
Chuck, thank you for coming in to join us. Chuck Lester, running for a trustee position in the Village of Ilion.
Planning on running for trustee.
Planning?
Yes.
Are you backing out now
No,
already?
No, I'm not backing out.
We talked for 15 minutes.
Well, there's dates and time. No, absolutely not. It's just everything is in the planning stage, and we got to get going on that.
Okay, and you'll be running your. This was part of a deal you made with Brian Lamica that if he ran again, you would hop in as well.
Yeah, I told him if he's dumb enough to want me as his running mate, I'd be glad to do it.
Okay. Well, and you got to get Brian to come in and talk to us as well.
Yeah, I tried to drag him in today, but he's got some family stuff, so I respect him for that.
Understandable.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in on a holiday, Chuck.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
it.
President's Day. Happy President's Day.
Happy President's Day. Chuck Lester running for a trustee position in the Village of Ilion. We'll take a quick time out, break for news, and come back with more. It's First News, Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM. Smitty gave me the shrug because I'm a little off timing-wise, so I'm going to have to kill 9 seconds here. So coming up, we'll check in with Fox News. We'll give you the latest update. We'll check sports as well, and we'll talk to Tucker Rosemeyer next hour as well.
WIBX Utica Road, W295
From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
A new message from Savannah Guthrie. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, as the search for her mother Nancy is now in day 16.
To whoever has her or knows where she is.
The Today Show host says on Instagram,
it's never too late.
She also said they still have hope, and there may be a lead looking for whoever kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. Fox's Matt Finn reports from Tucson, Arizona.
In that horrifying Nest Cam video, you could see the masked suspect wearing gloves, and now officials are saying they possibly have a match to one of those gloves. It was found about 2 miles from Nancy's home, where I am right now. And the DNA profile lifted from the glove will be added to the CODIS national database for comparison. We could get results soon if it is a match to the glove.
Homeland Security still has no funding, and with Congress on recess, it won't have it until at least next week. So essential workers from the Coast Guard to TSA Airport Security have to stay on the job and may miss paychecks. As Democrats hold up DHS funding, demanding immigration enforcement reform, including unmasking agents. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries tells CBS Face the Nation.
Why is it that ICE agents who are untrained are being unleashed on American communities
with this type of lawlessness, violence, and brutality.
But border czar Tom Homan points to an 8,000% increase in death threats against ICE officers as the reason for the masks. Homan also says the shutdown has not impacted immigration enforcement across the country because ICE and CBP are fully funded through the One Big Beautiful Bill. Some Republicans have cast Democrat objections to DHS funding as political theater.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. A new round of U.S.-Iran talks scheduled tomorrow. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says
it's a complicated thing. I mean, no one's ever been able to do a successful deal with Iran, but we're going to try.
President Trump has threatened attacking Iran again like last year if Iran doesn't scale back its nuclear program. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes and their families, heroes like Scott Abrams. Now, for more than 3 decades, Scott served his community and country while he was on his NYPD motorcycle escorting a funeral procession. Scott was hit by a bus, leaving him partially paralyzed. Tunnel to Towers was able to honor Scott with a mortgage-free smart home. Please join us supporting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. If you can donate $11 a month, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The same day as the U.S. and Iran resume talks tomorrow, Geneva, Switzerland, there will also be a new round of negotiations there trying to stop Russia's war in Ukraine.
Posting on Telegram, one Ukrainian negotiator wrote his team would use the long train journey from Kyiv to reflect on history and draw the right conclusions. Key items on the agenda include ceasefire monitoring mechanisms and arrangements for further prisoner exchanges. Meanwhile, a former Ukrainian energy minister has been arrested on suspicion of corruption while trying to leave the country. Understood to be German Galushenko, the minister is charged with money laundering and participation in a criminal organization. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
North Korea has sent troops to help Russia fight that war, and South Korean intelligence estimates 6,000 of them have been killed or wounded. And today, North Korea announced it's built new housing for families of the dead soldiers. On Wall Street, there'll be no trading on this President's Day holiday. The NASCAR season's underway, and Tyler Reddick started it, winning its most famous race at Daytona.
Tyler Reddick admitted on Sunday that when you're at his level and drive a car co-owned by NBA legend Michael Jordan, you're expected to win. For the most part, Reddick has, including taking home the 2024 NASCAR regular season championship. But 2025 was a different story. On the track, Reddick didn't win a single race. And off the track, his newborn son was battling health issues. The son is doing better now, and it seems like so is Reddick, emerging from a chaotic final lap to start out 2026 by winning his first career Daytona 500.
Last year was really hard for all of us, hard for me. I didn't know if I'd ever win this race. It's surreal, honestly.
Reddick, courtesy of Fox TV. Greg Thompson, Fox News.
At the Winter Olympics in Italy, the U.S. is tied for third in the medal count with 17, and in a few hours, the American women's hockey team plays Sweden in the semifinals. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies and 30 degrees at 8:05. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. This news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The investigation continues into what caused a fatal fire in the city of Rome on Friday. Crews were called to battle a blaze at a three-story building on East Dominic Street Friday evening, arriving to find heavy smoke and flames coming from the building. A person tragically lost their life after entering the building to try and save a dog. No other injuries reported. There are residents who have been displaced. Right now, they are being assisted by the Rome chapter of the American Red Cross. Starting today, the State Department of Motor Vehicles will begin their brand new point system. That means some of the most serious violations, like alcohol or drug-related offenses, speeding in a construction zone, or leaving the scene of an accident, will have higher point values. Officials claim that those changes will help keep persistently dangerous drivers off the roads. Existing point assignments for things like distracted driving and equipment violations remain unchanged. The slopes open today at Valbialis in Utica. The ski hill will offer special winter break hours and discounted rates for visitors. Through February 22nd, the ski hill will be open Monday through Friday from 1 to 9, Saturday from noon to 9, and Sundays from noon until 4. All lift tickets during the period are $20 a day. Tow handle only tickets are $10. Children 5 and under can skate for free, and then regular hours and rates will resume next week. We'll be talking about this bit coming up. Lance pointing out here that there is some discussion as to what the city is actually allowed to charge those who want to go skiing this week. A Utica man facing felony and misdemeanor charges after New Hartford police say he tried to steal over $50,000 worth of power equipment. Now, this occurred at the Slocum-Dixon Medical Group in the parking lot there off of Burstone Road. The skid steer and its accessories are valued at over $50,000, and they were parked in a back lot at Slocum-Dixon. Through the investigation, police were able to find evidence and determine that on Friday, Charles Kapler of Utica allegedly entered the skid steer, started the machine, then attempted to load it into a rental truck. Police say on the following morning, Saturday morning, a potential buyer traveled from out of state to the Slocum-Dixon Medical Group parking lot to purchase that skid steer for $12,000 under the impression that Kapler was the lawful owner. There were Slocum-Dixon staff present in the area. They noticed the supposed buyer arriving. The lawful owner immediately contacted police. Officers were advised that Kapler was en route to meet the buyer. New Hartford police coordinated an operation as Kapler arrived, and he was taken into custody without incident. He faces 2 charges of attempted grand larceny in the second degree, a Class D felony, a misdemeanor charge of criminal mischief, and a misdemeanor charge of scheme to defraud. He was being held pending arraignment in Oneida County Court. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:09. Here is a look at your Weather Center forecast.
There will be some patchy fog starting off this Monday, otherwise cloudy through the afternoon with a high today near 38. Then some light rain or light snow may develop overnight with areas of fog as the low hovers around 32. Some clouds into the afternoon tomorrow with a high near 40. The rain will develop Wednesday and possibly mix with snow at times with a high of 37. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies and 30 degrees at 8:09. From the IBEW 43 local sports desk, Smitty, did you watch any of the NBA All-Star Game activities this weekend?
No, I didn't.
I like to check in for the three-point contest and the dunk contest, although I don't think I've seen any great dunks in the last 15 years. Maybe that's an exaggeration. But anyway, did you see shots of the arena this weekend for the skills competition and stuff like that? They're saying it was 85% empty.
Oh, wow.
Nobody showed up.
It was in Los Angeles, too.
Yeah, in Inglewood. It was in Inglewood. But so people showed up for the All-Star game last night with all the big stars. So there was much better attendance. But what I'm hearing is Friday and Saturday, the arenas were empty.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw some videos. You can find them online. But some estimates were that it was only at 15% capacity. Anyway, Team Stars took home the NBA All-Star Game title last night. The game was the first to feature a round-robin bracket with American players against teams of international background. Team Stars beat Team World 37-35, then lost 42-40 to Team Stripes before topping Team Stripes in the championship game 47-21. Anthony Edwards was voted MVP. He scored 32 points over the 3 games. Some NFL news, the Raiders coaching staff coming together under new head coach Clint Kubiak. ESPN reports that Las Vegas is hiring Seahawks quarterbacks coach Andrew Janocko as its offensive coordinator. He'll reunite with Kubiak after working with him with the Seahawks, Saints, and Vikings. Now, the Seahawks lose their offensive coordinator. They found a new one. They're going to hire former 49ers tight ends coach Brian Fleury as their offensive coordinator. Fleury spent the past 7 seasons with San Francisco in a variety of positions. To baseball, a star player on the Phillies still upset about comments made by the team's president of baseball operations last year. Bryce Harper telling the media at spring training on Sunday that it's still kind of wild that Dave Dombrowski questioned if he was an elite player after how last season ended. The 33-year-old hit .261 with 27 home runs last year. It was his lowest average of his career, which dates back to 2019. Team USA was held off the podium at the Winter Games on Sunday. Aaron Jackson came the closest to winning a medal for the Stars and Stripes, finishing fifth in the women's speed skating 500-meter final. Jackson was unable to defend her gold after winning the event in 2022 in Beijing. Elsewhere, the U.S. men's curling team picked up a pair of round-robin wins, beating Sweden and Norway. Team USA has 5 gold medals and 17 total. The U.S. women's hockey team still unbeaten. In fact, they've outscored their opponents 26-1 so far. Team USA advanced to the semifinal round with a 6-0 win over Italy this weekend. Let's see. Canada will take on Switzerland in one semifinal game. And the Americans will play, let's see. Who do they play now? The 2 winners then meet in the gold Thursday. The 2 losers battle for the bronze. U.S. men's hockey celebrates a perfect round to close out the men's hockey group stage at the Winter Olympics. 5-1, they beat Germany. Team captain Austin Matthews lit the lamp twice and got an assist. The U.S. was 3-0 in preliminary play. They earned the 2 seed in the knockout stage. Rival Canada secured the top spot after beating down France 10-2. America will face the winner of Sweden and Latvia, which takes place tomorrow. Smitty, do you have that, who the women play next? No? All right. Anyway, they've obviously have not lost. They've outscored the opponents 26-1. They seem to be on a fast track to the gold medal, and I hope that rings true for sure. Hope the men get a gold as well, of course. Syracuse basketball.
They play Sweden today at 10:40.
The women at
U.S.
10:40 this morning.
10:40 this morning.
Okay, and the winner there goes to the gold medal game.
Right.
This is a semifinal game. Syracuse basketball wins it at the buzzer, knocking off SMU, but a tough match tonight against Duke.
Yep, down in Cameron Indoor, 7 o'clock if you're looking for it on ESPN. But if you're looking for basketball at 6, Colgate travels to Boston and takes on Boston U at 6 o'clock. That's on CBS Sports Channel. CBS Sports Network.
Real quick with Syracuse, they are 15-11 overall.
They're on a 2-game winning streak.
They improved to 6-7 in conference play. Right now, I think they are a lock to make the ACC tournament.
Yeah, they'll probably have a first round. They'll probably have a first round game, so they'll have to win at least 2 to convince the tournament committee to get into the NCAA.
What an embarrassment if they didn't even make the ACC tournament.
If they fall flat on their face and lose the rest of their games, they're not gonna make it into the ACC tournament. But I don't see that.
What do you say?
If they fall flat on their face and don't win the remaining games, I don't see they're not going to. They'll make the ACC tournament.
How many games do they have left?
They have 6 games left.
Oh, they have 6 left. It's just there's already 3 teams. 3 teams in the ACC won't make the tournament. There's already 3 teams that only have 2 wins.
Well, Pittsburgh's one of their opponents. Louisville, Wake Forest,
Duke,
and North Carolina.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse, but I think Syracuse should make the ACC tournament. The Utica Comets over the weekend split with Rochester. They lost at home, then won on the road.
Oh, they won last night? How about the Utica College Pioneers? I know they lost on Friday to Geneseo.
Unfortunately, they dropped both to Geneseo, who came in ranked number 13. I think the Pioneers were ranked number 6. Utica lost at home Friday night 5-3, then lost on the road Saturday 4-3 in overtime. So the winning streak for the Pioneers is over. Of course, the UCHC tournament is coming up. Pioneers now 16-7 overall. They were 12-0 in conference play, but this drops them back to 12-2. This weekend, this coming weekend, Utica wraps up its conference schedule against Chatham. Both games at the Adirondack Bank Center. Do I have that correct? I do. Friday and Saturday. So Friday night at 7, 2 o'clock on Saturday. And then the following weekend, the 28th, is when the UCHC tournament begins.
Yeah, the Comets are on the road tomorrow, on the road on Friday, and they're home on Friday and Saturday.
Well, hang on one second, because we're going to get these mixed up. Utica has, despite the 2 losses this weekend, they have a first-round bye. And they will be the host for at least round 2. So coming up at the end of the month, something to look forward to, the UCHC Conference Championship. The Pioneers get a first-round bye. Unfortunately, their win streak came to an end this weekend. Okay, now to the Comets.
The Comets are on the road tomorrow against Bridgeport, Saturday at Hartford, and then they're home for Laval on Saturday and Sunday.
All right, it is 8:17. Joining us next, Dave Hollenbeck. He is a Republican candidate looking to run against John Mannion in New York's 22nd Congressional District. We'll talk to him about his campaign. He is a veteran. We'll get some information on that, what issues are important to him, and we'll see what he thinks about President Trump. I know it's a tough thing. There's a lot of people concerned if you're a Republican and you have any criticism for Trump, maybe it means bad things for you. I don't know. We'll talk to Dave Hollenbeck about that coming up. It is a Monday morning, President's Day, First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Cartoon Madness is coming to the Rome Capitol Theater February 16th through the 21st at 3 p.m. daily, 3 and 7 p.m. on Saturday, February 21st. This year's theme, Looney Tunes Goes to War. 8 dozen cartoons in the Looney Tunes Merry Melody series with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and more, all made during the World War II period. Tickets are $5 for adults and $3 for children 12 and under. More info at RomeCapital.com. Cartoon Madness, Looney Tunes Goes to War, February 16th through the 21st at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Hey man, thanks for coming so fast. I couldn't get anyone else to pick up.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I'm not complaining though. Business is way up lately.
Wow, good for you. I've been trying to grow my accounting practice, but it's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I was in the same boat last year. What really helped me was checking out this site, mylocalcustomers.com.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, well, most people haven't. It gives you a look at how many people in town are searching for what you do, and it also provides a plan to help them actually find you.
Like online?
Exactly. It's eye-opening, and it only takes a couple minutes to get started.
Huh, well, you fixed my sink. Maybe you just fixed my business too.
Want to know how many people in your area are searching for your type of business? Start with a local customer analysis at mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com today.
That's mylocalcustomers.com. mylocalcustomers.com.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Is your business the best at what you do? Then you should be a Central New York's Industry Ace. Our Industry Aces are made up of the best businesses in the region, and will help you tell your story to thousands of consumers in the Mohawk Valley. With a combination of on-air and online testimonial commercials, along with targeted social media ads that are guaranteed to reach the consumers you want to be talking to. And best of all, these messages are coming directly from you. Interested in learning more? Contact Megan Powers at 315-768-9500.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger-pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right. It is First News Keeler in the morning. No Bill today. We hope he will be back tomorrow. It is Manaski and Smitty sitting in here. And I'm looking at an extended forecast on the TV screen here, and it's showing rain this week, but we're hovering around 40 most days. All right, so two things to get to here for this segment. First of all, if he's on his way here, we encourage him to come in. David Hollenbeck, the Republican candidate for John Mannion's seat. He's challenging John Mannion in the 22nd Congressional District. Mr. Hollenbeck is not here. We expected him in studio. It's possible this was a scheduling mix-up. I know today's a holiday, and I'm on his website right now, which is Hollenbeck. Let me make sure I get this right. HollenbeckForCongress.com, HollenBeck, HollenbeckForCongress.com. He's actually scheduled to appear in the city of Utica on Wednesday at the Common Council meeting. So is it possible we confused 16th and 18th? Because I know he's going to be in town on Wednesday also. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him later this week. He's welcome to call in right now if he's listening, but we were scheduled to be joined by David Hollenbeck at 8:15, and it looks like that's not going to happen. Let's see here also. Okay, so Lance and Lee. This is on the Val Bialis thing, and your comments are welcome via the WIBX 950 mobile app or 315-736-0186. Smitty is also going to be monitoring YouTube for relevant comments as well. All right, Lance says, Jeff, I believe the ski rates of $20 that you announced were suggested donation rates. From what I have seen from a few counselors, the old rates are legally what they can charge, which I believe are $3 to $5 during the week. I am curious which is true. Okay, so, and Lance has another message here, but I want to get to this part first. This is the press release on the City of Utica website, and it's not dated, but I think it said 4 days ago. That's how old it is. The City of Utica excited to announce the reopening, yada, yada, yada. To celebrate the reopening, the city will offer extended hours through the February break, which is this week, with a special Wake Up Val Bialis $20 unlimited day pass lift tickets and $10 tow handle passes beginning February 13th. Continuing through Sunday, February 22nd. So what's officially on the City of Utica website does not say donation. It's a flat fee that you would pay. And again, the hours this week, Monday through Friday, 1 to 9, Saturday, 12 to 9, and Sunday, 12 to 4. I hope people get out and take advantage of this, although, as I said just a minute ago, the weather is going to be a little warmer this week, and we've got some rain in the forecast. So to whatever extent people can take advantage of it, I hope they do. Okay, Lance also said here, my point with the ice rink in Rome was that the city charges the same for everyone, regardless of their home city. The Rome skate park is much nicer and more modern than the Utica one. It seems to me trying to get people into your city to spend money at restaurant stores, gas stations, etc. should be a priority rather than making a couple dollars more because they live in New Hartford, which is a neighboring community. Lance, I don't completely disagree with your point. I think it's a fair point. An attraction that gets people in to stop at a restaurant, gas station, etc. I totally agree with that. But my point is there is a cost to operating this facility, and it can't just be on the taxpayer dime. I understand there's a benefit for businesses. You get sales tax revenue. I get that, and you're right. I'm not saying there's not a benefit to that. But that's kind of it's difficult to measure the impact of that. So when you can completely measure how much it costs to operate the lift, to use the snowmaker, to have staff on hand, the lights that are needed to run it until 9 o'clock at night if it's open that late. And obviously with electricity rates going up, it's more expensive to run it this winter than it would have been any year up till now. So I just think that needs to be taken into account. And everything can't be free. And I know you're not saying that everything should be free. I'm just saying it can't just come on the taxpayer dime. The second part of that is the Rome Skate Park, which is a fixed cost, right? Unless they're lighting it at night, and I don't know this. I apologize that I don't know this, what the hours of operation are for the Rome Skate Park. And obviously it's a seasonal thing. But if they're lighting it at night, I could see an expense there. But if this is just something that's open seasonally while the sun is out, then there's really not a cost to operate it. There was a one-time cost, which I again, off the top of my head, my memory, I don't know this, was likely a grant or some type of funding to build the skate park. That's how Utica got its skate park upgraded. And you say it's more modern than the Utica one. I've seen it, and I agree. It is more modern, and it's larger. But there's not an actual expense. You don't have staff on hand monitoring it. There's not somebody there to collect tickets. You're not lighting it, to my knowledge. So you take the electricity out. There's not a lift to go up and down. It's whether 100 people go a day, 1,000 people go a day, or no one goes a day, it still costs the same to run it. So I don't know. You can comment on that, 315-736-0186, or via the WIBX 950 mobile app. I understand your point, Lance, and I'm not saying it's a bad point. I just kind of, we veer off at some point there. And I only suggested different rates for Utica residents versus other areas. I guess this is what the city is doing. If you can show a valid student ID or an active, a current report card, some in Utica will be covered. Again, it's a little bit of a gray area. I don't think the mayor did a great job of explaining this when he joined us last week. He talked about essentially it being an endowment fund and that some people are covered and some aren't. Lance, text Katie and ask her. I'm sure she knows. And then he also says, isn't there a cost for everything, snow plowing, parks, etc., in every community? Yeah, but my point is you're going to do that anyway, though. You're going to do that anyway. If, like, the city doesn't have to have a ski hill, but if they're going to have it, they got to have lights, electricity, the tow lift, staff on to monitor, and all this other stuff. I don't think you have a cost with the skate park. So anyway, we'll continue this conversation, I guess, at another time. It is 8:29. A quick timeout. Is Mr. Hollenbeck here? No, he's not. Who is? Oh, Tucker's here. Oh, great. We'll catch up with Tucker Rosemeyer. He's got a new restaurant, Beef and Bird. We were supposed to talk to him last week, but we goofed up. We didn't know he was in the green room waiting for us, so we accidentally bumped his segment. He was gracious enough to come back today. We'll talk to him in just a minute. It's First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Cartoon Madness is coming to the Rome Capitol Theater February 16th through the 21st at 3 p.m. daily, 3 and 7 p.m. on Saturday, February 21st. This year's theme, Looney Tunes Goes to War. 8 dozen cartoons in the Looney Tunes Merry Melody series with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and more, all made during the World War II period. Tickets are $5 for adults and $3 for children 12 and under. More info at RomeCapital.com. Cartoon Madness, Looney Tunes Goes to War, February 16th through the 21st at the Rome Capitol Theater.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
All right, we have cloudy skies and 30 degrees. Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:31. Congress is taking a 10-day recess while parts of the government are shut down. Funding for the Department of Homeland Security was allowed to expire early Saturday, and agencies under the DHS umbrella add up to about 13% of all civilian federal employees. Because of the shutdown, travelers could see delays at airports, where TSA employees are expected to work without pay. Border czar Tom Homan says some Democrats are making unreasonable demands about immigration enforcement reform. Homan made the comment during CBS Face the Nation. Among the demands he touched on was for immigration agents to wear masks, saying he doesn't like the masks but believes they are necessary for officer safety reasons. President Trump says Board of Peace members have promised more than $5 billion toward Gaza humanitarian and reconstruction efforts. Trump made the announcement in a post on Truth Social Sunday. The recently established board was created to oversee the ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Team USA did not medal Sunday at the Winter Olympics. The U.S. did, however, continue its success in ice hockey. The American men cruised past Germany 5-1 to wrap up the prelims with a perfect 3-0 record. Team USA will now face the winner of Sweden and Latvia, which is scheduled for tomorrow. Meanwhile, the U.S. women square off against Sweden this morning in the semifinals. The winner will go to the gold medal game. So far, the Team USA ladies are undefeated, and they've outscored their opponents 26-1. Warner Brothers Discovery is reconsidering an updated acquisition offer sent last week by Paramount Skydance. According to Bloomberg, Warner Brothers is currently a partner with Netflix, and it could initiate another bidding war. Contract terms seem favorable, and it offers to cover $2.8 billion in penalties for breaking the Netflix contract and would guarantee financial backing if the deal does not close by the end of this year. There are reports of other incentives as well. And the man behind Sega's most popular video game consoles like Genesis and Dreamcast has died. Hideki Sato, who led the Japanese company's design team through the 80s and 90s, passed away on Friday. He was 77 years old. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:34. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
There will be some patchy fog starting off this Monday, otherwise cloudy through the afternoon with a high today near 38. Then some light rain or light snow may develop overnight with areas of fog as the low hovers around 32. Some clouds into the afternoon tomorrow with a high near 40. And the rain will develop Wednesday and possibly mix with snow at times with a high of 37. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, clouds and 30 degrees at 8:35. Smitty just told me what he was going to do later today, and I was a little surprised, but I think you should share it.
I'm going to go to the Capitol Theater and watch the Looney Tunes marathon that they have all week during the mid-break for the kids.
So, would you say it's $5?
Yeah.
And that's for Rome residents and non-Rome residents, since we're talking about it. I don't. Smitty's saying, no, Jeff, where are you going with this? No, I'm teasing. But it's called Cartoon Madness.
Yep.
And it's cartoons all day?
No, it's Looney Tunes. It starts at 3 o'clock. They play them up on the big screen where we were on the stage.
Yeah.
Where we were at the Capitol with Jimmy last Saturday. That's where they have the big projector.
And they roll down a screen.
Yep.
And they run cartoons from 3 o'clock till when?
Probably till like 5.
So about 2 hours a day. It's all week.
And then they have a matinee show on Saturday at 7.
Okay. And it's all Looney Tunes?
Yes, the theme is Go to War. So it's going to be like Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Daffy Duck.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And they do this during the breaks routinely.
Yep.
It's $5. And
you get popcorn, soda.
Does Looney Tunes have seasons like other shows have, like season 1, season 2,
No,
season 3?
these are like the older ones, like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam.
Okay. I'm hunting Wabbit.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Okay.
Porky Pig.
Very cool. And you're a fan of this.
Oh, I
some
love
nostalgia,
it.
right?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
So it starts at 3 o'clock today. It's going on all week. 3 o'clock each day. Cartoon Madness at the Rome Capitol, where, as you mentioned, we just were for Jimmy Fallon 2 weeks ago, which was a great show. All right, it is 8:36. We'll take a break, and Tucker Rosemeyer is going to join us in studio. He's got a new venture in downtown Utica, and we'll hear all about it coming up on WIBX.
Listen carefully. Silver prices have experienced a historic surge, breaking above the $100 per ounce threshold for the first time, and industry experts predict silver could climb even higher. It's not too late for you to benefit from the surge in silver. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 to get our free gold and silver investment guide. Plus, you'll also receive a free copy of economist Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Debt is rising, currencies are under pressure, and investors are looking for real assets, not paper promises. That's why so many Americans are turning to physical gold and silver with Advantage Gold. Historically, when silver starts moving, it can move fast and aggressively. This isn't about guessing tops or bottoms. It's about understanding risk and positioning before momentum accelerates. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and find out how you can get a tax and penalty-free rollover for a portion of your retirement funds for 2026. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
If your loved one is battling addiction, you should know there is hope. Through the Good News Foundation's PAL group, you will find confidentiality, respect, acceptance, and support. Learn about healthy relationships, enabling, and other important concepts to work toward healing. Go to the Good News Foundation's website and join the PAL group. When someone you love has an addiction, there is hope. Good News Foundation, sharing faith, offering hope, and serving others.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is President's Day. Bill is back with us tomorrow, we hope. He's a little under the weather today. But Smitty and I are pushing on. And joining us now in studio, Tucker Rosemeyer. He's got a new venture in downtown Utica. It's called Beef and Bird. And this is, you got 2 places right now?
Right now we have 1886 Prime in Frankfurt, and now Beef and Bird is on Genesee Street.
Well, I'll tell you, I've heard great things about both. I haven't been to 1886. Did I say that right?
1886.
1886. I notably, when I wrote a story when you guys first opened up a couple years ago, I was still here full time, and I wrote a story, and I think I put like 1872 or something.
Well, the building was built in 1886, so it's an easy one.
Yeah, that's an easy one, and it was just, I think, a typo on my part. But I hear great things about them. Let's start with Beef and Bird, the new place. What is Beef and Bird?
Beef and Bird is a little sandwich shop where we specialize in roast beef and chicken, and basically the star of the show are these fresh cut fries that are cooked in beef tallow. That's the main thing, is that we're not using any seed oils to cook in, and that the French fries are fresh cut and cooked in chemical-free beef tallow. Because there's a lot of people jumping on this bandwagon with beef tallow now. But I
even see for like skin, they say you should moisturize your skin with it.
You know,
And
it's very
anti-aging
similar to
properties.
human fat. So when you use it, it just works easily when it goes on. But as far as the beef tallow that we cook with, you could use that for your skin. But some of it has like a little beefy smell to it if it hasn't been deodorized. Ours is deodorized with steam, not a chemical process. So it takes away that little bit of farm smell that comes with it at times.
Sure. And then what's the deal with the seed oil? Is the idea is the beef tallow is a healthier option?
For years, it was demonized, like butter, eggs, red meat. All of these things were demonized as being unhealthy. Now there's new information, there's new studies coming out that's actually not true. And the other thing is the seed oils, basically canola oil, which comes from the rapeseed plant. They don't even give it its real name, but it comes from the rapeseed plant. Vegetable oil, corn oil, all of these things are very high in linoleic acid. It oxidizes under high temperature, which causes free radicals, which that's the problem in the system. And beef tallow does not oxidize at higher temperatures.
Gotcha. So this is a trend now.
It is trending. It definitely is trending.
It's funny. It goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back for a long time. You mentioned butter and eggs. Don't eat them, don't eat them, don't eat the yolks. And I don't know. I guess there's conflicting science on this. But how's it gone so far?
It's very busy. We're very blessed. We're lucky that we've been well received in downtown Utica. We opened for lunch. Initially, we were opening at noon. There's people lined up at the door, so we said, hey, let's get in here and open at 11. So we open at 11 during the week. We close at 7. Kind of dies down in that area.
Sure.
Especially in the winter. But we're busy all day. We got seating for 14, 15, and there's people standing. We don't have a phone. So people, you want to come in, it's kind of like bosses. You place your order, we call your number, and that's how it works. We don't want the food to sit around.
I got you. No, I like it. Fresh and made to order. So you talked about the fresh fries.
Fresh cut
fries.
Talk
about this.
The fresh cut fries, we're cutting fries all day long. We're doing I talked to the guys at Five Guys, and we're doing about half the amount of them, which is impressive because Five Guys is booming over there.
Yeah.
They're using peanut oil. We're using beef tallow. So eventually we're hoping to get that up there. But we're cooking fries all day. I heard the mayor on last week. He talked about our French dips. We call them the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper. These are roast beef sandwiches. We roast the beef every day. We make our own bread for these dip sandwiches. We're also using Heidelberg rolls for some of our chicken sandwiches. Yeah, so, we're supporting local. We're doing all the cooking hours. We have a limited menu, but we're keeping it small. We're just trying to push out something that we want to do best.
Yeah, and as they say, Jimmy talked about this Jimmy Falo talked about it. We play the hits, man. Do what you're good at. Simple menu, straightforward. This is what we focus on. This is our specialty, and enjoy it. So you said you got a lot of lines there. There's no phones. You can't call an order.
You can't call us. We're definitely getting messages on Facebook. They're calling my Facebook number. But, if you want to get in touch with us, come in and talk to us. You can send us a message. We do have a gluten-free option. There was a lot of talk of, the gluten-free people. They came on there. They made their presence known. So we do have a gluten-free roll. So we have a gluten-free roast beef sandwich and one of our chicken sandwiches, which we just added. We call it the Dirty Bird, which is a chopped chicken sandwich. It's chopped chicken thighs. We could do that on a gluten-free roll as well.
Love it. Now you don't have a phone. I know I just mentioned that, but what I'm getting to is, do you do the delivery services, the DoorDash, the Grubhub, the Uber Eats?
Honestly,
can people do that?
We don't do that right now.
Okay.
We are so busy that it's not in the cards right now. Maybe at some point that may happen, but we're really looking to do something different than everybody's doing. Come down, order in person, talk to people, spend some time in there, eat it in your car. But this isn't one of we would probably explode if we had something like
bet
that.
you would.
But we just can't handle the volume right there.
Gotcha.
for that.
No, and your location, you're on the. I always forget the name of the road. It's the strip right next to North Jenny. If you're heading over the bridge,
considered Genesee Street. That's my legal address, but we're next to Silk.
Over by Utica Coffee.
Utica
that
Coffee,
strip there.
and it used to be Utica Bread for a little bit there.
Yeah.
So,
Where
and it's a
Taylor and the
one-way
Cook
street.
used to be.
Taylor and
Right.
the Cook used to be on that street.
Yes. All right. So that is Beef and Bird.
Beef and Bird.
When did you officially open?
We opened right before New Year's.
Nice. Okay, and you've been great for 6 weeks. It's gone great for you. Happy to hear that. Tell us about 1886.
1886 Prime. Maybe it's a sister restaurant. We're seed oil free down there. So what we're doing, we're also cooking in beef tallow. We created a chicken wing sauce without liquid margarine. So this is the only one. Everybody else is using liquid margarine, which is not healthy for you. It's just not. So we did one with avocado oil. Can't taste the difference. We put butter in there to get that butter flavor. That's what we're doing with our purple cow wings down there. We're selling Prime burgers, USDA Prime Smash burgers. We're fresh cutting our fries down there. And this Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. So we're going to be doing fish fries as well down there.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this is more of a come in, sit
you
down.
You can sit down. We have seating for 40 or 50. We're waiting on
more of a restaurant
We're waiting
style,
on
right?
a beer and wine license. In the meantime, people bring their own in. They party up down there, have a good time, stay late, and it gets wild sometimes. No, it's a great place down there. I mean, it's in Frankfurt, so a lot of times people from Utica, they don't want to drive down in the cold weather, but a lot of our business is out of town, and obviously Frankfurt people support us great, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Did you bring anything for me to sample today?
Well, the plant medicine thing, that was our last conversation, I think, and we had a good time with that. I'm still working with that. Still, spirituality is a big part of my life.
So what do you mean the plant medicine? We're talking about...
Well, the plant medicine. Last time, I think it was Sananga, which is an Amazonian plant where it's used to clear, and the tribes use it to hunt with. Ayahuasca, the Bufo alvarius toad, those are all things that...
Is ayahuasca the Aaron Rodgers stuff? Is that the stuff he tried?
Yes. I mean, and you could see what it's done for him in his life as far as just his energy. It's changed his life.
Yeah. I would say on the football field, he's got to have a better attitude, I think.
Well, I think...
It's always the wide receiver's fault. It's never his fault.
He's probably past his prime a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's time to, go sit in the booth and talk about it instead of playing on the field, but...
So, okay, let's talk about what you had brought in that one time. I was so naive walking into this because Bill's like, hey, Tucker's bringing this thing in. It's these eye drops. He wants you to try them. Now, this was a plant that they put into a liquid form?
The Sananga eye drop. So they take the root of the plant and they basically grind it up and put it in a water solution. Some of them aren't as strong as others. The one that I actually happen to have is the one, it's like dropping battery acid in your eyes. And what that did was...
Thank you for that.
It made you stop thinking about any of your other problems and focus on your eyes. The release of adrenaline in your system pumps up, though, right?
Yeah.
And then if you were to go, say hunting monkeys in the jungle, you're gonna be ready for that.
So, for those who weren't listening at the time, this happened a couple years ago. Bill had said to me, Tucker's got these drops. He wants you to try them, or he wants somebody to try them. And I said, yeah, absolutely, I'll do it. So as you guys were explaining this, as you said, you don't think about anything else. So in my mind, naively, I'm thinking he's going to put these drops in. It's going to be like a body buzz. Yeah. I'm only going to focus on positive energy and positive vibes. I didn't realize when you said you'll stop thinking about everything else is because there's a lot of pain and you don't know what's going on. You lose. It's like if someone came in and smacked your hand with a hammer. You forget that your toe was hurting.
Would you do it again?
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll have to set it up.
I'll do it. We'll do it in studio.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Absolutely. I'll do it again. I remember instantly thinking, wow, this might not have been the best idea, but I do get it. It kind of makes you focus on what's important, and it also. There's an element of, I don't want to say survival. That's a little
Serenity
dramatic.
Afterwards? Did you feel the calm that came afterwards?
Absolutely, yeah, because you kind of realize, I can still see and I've got everything going on. So, like, the important things, I guess. Do you still Can I ask you about this? Do you still make trips and try
I
out
haven't
stuff?
had a trip in a while. My last
No,
trip,
we're not talking about an acid trip. We mean a trip out of the country.
No, I was in Colombia this summer. I went to Colombia this summer, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest, it was the first time that I actually got robbed. I got robbed in Bogota, Colombia. I was sitting there trying to do a reel. I was videotaping some pigeons. An old man came up to me, asked me for some directions, and it just so happens that he was part of this greater scheme. And then another man that portrayed a cop came up to me and pulled me off into a side street, and they got me for $1,300 cash.
Wow!
I handed it over. I mean, when you think you're going to get robbed in Colombia, knife, gun, no, it was just I handed him my cash over because the old man was part of this whole thing, and it was it was disheartening. It was. I was just there just to enjoy myself and relax,
Holy cow.
Could have gotten worse.
So if anybody's traveling, explain how this scheme works. Get
It
more
was
details on
just
this.
an old man came up, asked me for directions, and then another.
Well, hang on. That's a red flag, though. He's a Colombian guy?
He was portraying himself as being from Ecuador. He had a whole story. He's from Ecuador looking, his wife's there for eye surgery, and he was looking for his hotel.
Wow, elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah, it was elaborate. And then another guy showed up claiming to be Interpol police, and he started asking him questions.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of me.
To
So
make
I'm
it look like,
and then he's like, all right, you two come with me. And I'm like, I'm not even with this guy. And the whole time I'm not even realizing that these two were together on this thing.
Wow.
So we went off to the side street. He had the old man hand him his wallet. And I saw that there was hundreds in his wallet. So I he asked me how much money I had. I had some cash. I had just watched a YouTube video about not leaving your money in the safe in the hotel room. So I was carrying my cash
everything
on me.
you got.
I
Yeah.
had about $1,300 on me. Handed it over. And as soon as I did that, I saw a little tattoo on his hand. I was like, oh, man, not good.
Oh, no.
And then he started walking. And next thing you know, he's down the street and waving to the other guy. And everybody just disappeared. And I'm standing there like an idiot. Minus $1,300.
Wow. No jewelry.
I had my chain on, and he kind of like touched my chain, and I think maybe he got the energy. I'm like, it's the Blessed Mother on there. You don't want to mess with her. So he let that go. But
so you turned over your whole wallet, or was it just the cash?
It was just the cash.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to ask about IDs and stuff.
I left my passport in the rooms. I had my phone with me, so I showed him my. He was pretty thorough as far as portraying himself as a police officer.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was the first real bad thing that ever happened to me in probably, 30 trips out of the country. Never had anything like that happen. And,
Wow.
that's the last time I had traveled.
You're still going to go, though, right?
I'm still going to. Oh, yeah, that's not going to stop
You're wiser
me.
now.
I'm wiser now. I tell the story. And, there's a lot of bad stories about things. I don't go out. I don't drink at the bars there, so I don't have to worry about people dosing me with any scopolamine or anything like that. But that's a serious thing in these tourist cities in South America, where they'll put it right. It's like taking 20 Xanax and they drop it in your drink, and you're sleeping for 3 days and getting robbed for everything. So you don't want to drink out in these places.
Yeah. I guess we have time real quick. I actually got what I think was roofied at a bar in Montreal years ago. I told the story on the air before. I went up with, I was going to school at Plattsburgh, and some of us were over 21 or about 21, and some of us were 19 or 20. And so in Canada, you can drink at 18. So we planned this trip. We go up there, and there's this bar in the middle of nowhere, and they're doing this special where it's you buy a draft, and they were giving it to you in a red Solo cup. It was buy one, get two free. So there's like 8 of us. So we got like 24 cups of beer all at once. So we put them on this round tabletop, and then we were like playing darts or whatever. And so you finish a beer and you go over, you just grab a cup. It was all the same kind of beer. We had, like I said, 20-something cups among the 8 of us. And I think one of the guys put in something in the drink. He thought it was for one of the girls. And I don't mean one of the guys with us. I mean one of the locals out there.
Canadians.
Yeah. And I grabbed that cup, and I was there for half an hour. It was like 9:30 at night. This bar's open till 4. I told my roommate, I go, dude, I need the keys to your car. I got to go lay down. I don't know what's going on. The room was spinning. I was really exhausted. Next thing I know, they're getting back into the car, and I said, oh, hey, you came and get me up. Oh, let's go have a good time. They go, it's almost 4:30 in the morning. You've been sleeping for like 7 hours or 6.5 hours. And somebody clearly put something in that drink. Yeah. There's no question. After a beer and a half, for me to have to sleep for 6.5 hours. I didn't get robbed or anything, thank goodness, and nobody on our group got hurt.
Watch those Canadians, huh?
I guess so. All right, so one more time. Beef and Bird, give us the hours, and same thing for 1886.
Tuesday through Saturday. We open at 11 o'clock on Tuesday. We're closed at 7. We run until Saturday. 1886 Prime, it's open from Wednesday to Sunday. We open at 4 o'clock down there during the week. We run till 9. We got daily specials on Facebook on 1886 Prime every day. Beef and Bird, we're bringing in a few new items here and there. I got a new long hot jardinera it's a condiment for the roast beef sandwiches. Nobody's done this. Come down and try this. You can add it to a French dip, or I may even sell an Italian beef sandwich this week. I'm not sure, but it's available.
Very cool. Tucker, great job as always. Thank you, man. Before we go, I'm going to give a quick update on this Val Biella situation. So I took Lance's suggestion. I reached out to Katie Aiello to see what her thoughts were. I said the $20 fee for Val Biella is a requested donation, or is it the actual cost? On the city's website, it doesn't say anything about a donation. It says it's the actual cost. Lance and Lee brought it up. He thinks you have the answer. All right, here's Katie's response. The mayor's lawyers, this is what Katie says, the mayor's lawyers told him he cannot charge $20. So he's suggesting that as a donation. But otherwise, you pay the $19.64 price if you don't take him up on that suggestion. And then she said, weird, I know. So if you're headed out there today, let me know what you pay. Call us tomorrow, send us a message, and let us know what the cost is. That's it for us today. President's Day. This is my out, 5750. Bill, we expect Bill back tomorrow. We appreciate you joining us today on the holiday. Again, no mail today, no stock market. Federal buildings, state buildings are closed. That all changes tomorrow. The kids are on break. My son's having a good time already, not being in school. He's loving that. So they're off all this week as well. It is First News, Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM. What's that?
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, winter is here to stay. Here in Central New York, we just never know what to expect. Bobcat equipment can keep you working through whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow or mud. In all kinds of weather, Bobcat machines deliver low ground disturbance, excellent traction, impressive pushing power, and a smooth ride for all-day working comfort. So whether it's snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service. If you haven't been to see them, take a ride today. They're easy to find and anxious to meet you just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona on the Greenway New London Road.
Warner's, where quality still counts at Warner's.
The President's Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Save up to $1,350 on New York State's largest selection from New York State's largest specialty bedding retailer. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Megan, why is everybody whispering K4? Like it's a secret.
Because it's the 2025 Kia K4EX lease deal.
The one with zero do it inception?
Yup. Just $328 a month for 36 months.
Okay, say the magic part.
Even sales tax included.
Sweet, fun to drive, and no surprise math. That's a powerful combo.
It's how we make vehicles affordable.
Make that short drive to save.
Go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
Stock number 25F0951. MSRP 25,515. 36 months, 30,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. Zero due to inception. Zero security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 3/2/2026.
Destination Kia.
WIBX Utica Road. W295 Utica.